How you doing, man?
Good, good,
You
good.
in you in Dubai still, right?
Yeah.
To win.
5 more days.
Are you having a good time? Are you enjoying it?
So
So
so, so so. I'm
that's up,
here
yeah.
for family obligations, you know, just to see my mom.
You're enjoying
Yeah.
family time, but you're not enjoying the rules.
Oh, hell no, yeah. Don't even get me started, bro.
But did you at least go out to the gyms and stuff?
No, to be honest,
Yeah.
no, because no, dude. I've been training in the gym in the building, you
Mhm.
know, but I haven't gone to any gym. Dude, I get to see my mom every 5, 6 years, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. I know what you mean.
So, a week off the gym is not gonna kill me, you know.
When I go to New York to see my mom, I don't go to the gym either. Well, because you got to think about it, like you said, you see your mom. For me, let's say every 1 to 2 years, right? After
Yeah,
COVID, it was like maybe 3 years. You got to think how many more times am I gonna see my mom, right? First of all, when you're there, you want to give her your all. Like last thing you want to do is be spending 3 hours in the gym because people are gonna be talking to you the whole nine. You go home tired and probably take a nap or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So I
exactly.
feel like
Plus, like
mhm,
pre gym rituals and stuff like that, you know.
all that should take time because you're gonna be focused on cooking your meals and mixing your pre-workout and all of this that you're not spending. Listen, as much as we love bodybuilding, bro, there's still life. Life, life, life has to come first. You know what I'm saying? It's just that,
Well, I
mhm.
mean, it's all my mom. If it wasn't my mom, I would. But it's just my mom, you know. My mom comes first. Yeah,
In particular, yeah. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, there's gonna be a time where we don't have bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying? And it might be too late to be spending time with your loved ones, right? So, I definitely wouldn't trade spending. Obviously, if you're 2 weeks out. If you're 2 weeks out and you get invited to your family, then you might not go. You know what
What are
I'm
we talking about?
exactly. Oh, hey, what's up, man? I'm
saying?
sorry I didn't
What's
see you
good?
there.
What's up, Nick? Nah, we
What
took
up?
Zayda's. It's good, bro.
What's
Nah,
up?
Zayda's in Dubai to see his family, and I was like, "Yo, did you go? Did you go see all the cool gyms in Dubai?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm here to see my mom. Because he
Fuck
only
yeah,
sees her.
bro.
You think you know what I'm saying?
I'm the
Because he
same.
only
I'm
Yeah,
the same. How many times when I go home, and this is, I feel like a dickhead saying this out loud, but how many times when I go home, people are like, "Oh my god, can we come get a training session in?" I'm not here for you.
that's
Like
right.
I see my
yo,
family like once, twice a year, bro. Like I'm not.
you're not there for that.
Yeah, they'll be
To
like,
be
"Oh,
Yeah.
you want to come train at this gym? That's like 2 hours away. I'm here for family, bro. Like fuck off."
Bro, like, I'm telling
That's
you,
right.
listen, life is short, first of all, right? So it's like we're only seeing our parents maybe once a year, if we're lucky, a little bit more. But if you start doing the math, bro, we don't live as long as we think we do sometimes, right? So
Fuck
you want to
no,
make
bro.
exactly,
And here's the thing, like when I see my family, it's literally right now. It's only like at a show, so like I don't
yeah,
really spend time with them. So like
yeah.
after a show, like when I know I don't have to be 100% per se, I
Mhm.
want to like spend some quality fucking time. Honestly, I don't even like to train that much when I go home. And if I do, I'll do it early in the morning and get it out the way.
That's what me and Zay said. Like if I'm in New York for 7 days, the most I get is maybe one session. But I have the rest of the 365 days to train. I'm only gonna see my mom this 1 week. The last thing I want to do is be taking naps and taking pre-workout and you know what I'm saying, all that shit while she's sitting
And
there.
believe it or not, it'll probably do your body some good to just chill.
All facts.
Amen, dude. Absolutely.
Because
What's
I
up,
know I
Paul?
know me, right? And I'm sure we're all the same. I rest is like fuck rest. Like I got shit to do. But when you're
Yeah,
forced to do it, it's like, yeah, it's all good. You know what I
kind of
mean?
hits different. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
good, Paul?
What's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How you
Hey,
What's
doing?
going
Nick.
on?
Nick, are you familiar with this cast of hoodlums we got?
Yeah, I've been watching all your shit.
Well, so if you watch it, you know that this is the bodybuilding's most handsome podcast in the world, right?
Y'all some ugly motherfuckers.
Well, Nick, look at Nick. Nick got the full head of hair going. He got the skin, the smooth skin.
I'm silky smooth, baby.
What's your have you ever thought about like growing your hair long since you got your hair?
No, I had it a lot longer, but doesn't look that good anymore. Once it gets a certain length, it's like, all right, that's a little too long. Let's bring it back down a little bit.
You know, like in the East Coast, a lot of us, especially growing up, it was like getting like a buzz cut and wearing a hat, right? So nobody is growing their hair out, right?
That's how I used to have mine.
But then once my older brother, because I always thought that I would never lose my hair because nobody in my family did. Then my older brother lost his hairline. I'm like, oh shit, right? So then I was like, fuck, yeah, you know? So then I literally just grew my hair. I was like, fuck it, I'm not cutting my hair no more because I'm like, one day it's going to leave, but we don't know what day that is, but it's now, you know what I'm saying? It's not if, it's when it's going to go.
Well, see, luckily, like in my family, we have like the good genetic gene. Like my brother's not losing hair. It's just his hairline went from like here to here somehow, you know? Mm-hmm. And I even noticed mine's going back a little bit, but nothing crazy. But as far as like not having hair, my family, like luckily genetically wise, my great grandparents had like full head of hair.
Do you notice like deep in prep, it starts to get thinner, bro?
Oh yeah, a little bit.
And then it comes back.
Yeah, and the opposite is true, dude. I've been off gear for 4 months, and my hair is a lot thicker.
It does.
Yeah, it
does come back. Yeah, yeah.
I always feel the last 2-3 weeks, your hair's falling out when you're taking a shower and shit. It's all over the tub.
Well, that's why a lot of times, the closer I got to a show, I would just shave all my hair off.
Yeah. Bro, this last prep, I had like a bald spot, bro. This whole area was like a bald spot, bro. I didn't think it was gonna come back. And my barber was like, bro, you good? Are you stressed out? Do you have what's that shit?
That's another thing. Stress can fuck you up more than people. I had this conversation, I forget with who. Someone was like, oh, you know, you bodybuilders are so unhealthy and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you realize stress is probably worse on the body than what, quote unquote, we as bodybuilders do. Are y'all not aware of this? Like,
also the people saying this, like, look at their lifestyles, right? They'll be
fat and ugly, probably.
but they'll be like, hey, protein, these supplements have all these chemicals. I'm like, name me the chemicals in protein powder. Like, give me a list of the chemicals. They're like, you know, what
got some artificial sweeteners.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, what are you eating in a day? What are you drinking in a day? You know what I'm saying? But speaking of what you're eating, are you in off-season mode, like pushing, or like are you? Oh yeah.
Luckily, I'm at a point where I don't have to drastically push food too hard at all. Like, I have the size, so it's like there's no need to eat a shit ton of food to blow up for no reason. Although my weight has gone up. I'm around 279, 280 right now. Well, this is also the leanest 279, 280 I've ever been, too.
Yeah, I thought you were lighter just because you look lean as hell, right? You posted I think it was a chest video yesterday, right?
Yeah.
When was that filmed?
When?
Yeah, when did you film that?
Wait, which video?
I think I saw one yesterday.
On my Instagram?
On your channel. Yeah, the one that you were doing the incline bench. Chest and shoulders.
Morning. I posted that this morning.
Yeah, but when did you film it? Was that recent?
Oh, like a couple days ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you look pretty lean. I thought you were probably lighter because you look super lean.
No, I'm at a point where, like, I'm a shorter bodybuilder, right? Like, I felt like going through those off seasons where I had to blow up. I look back and I don't think it was worth it. I kind of figured it was counterproductive because even though, you could say, well, look at where you're at in your career. True. But with the way my genetics are, I personally believe I would have got here doing it another way.
Yeah.
I honestly do.
Speaking of blowing up in off season, what's up, Joe?
What's going on, buddy?
You're familiar, Nick. You're familiar with Joe because you were at that show.
I saw him turn. I saw him turn pro.
Okay. So walk me through it, right? Like as far as like you're getting ready for the Olympia, you tear your hamstring. How do you pivot from that? Do you go, okay, let me go into like a rebound phase? Let me go into off-season phase, or let me just continue dieting? I don't know what the fuck is happening.
No. Well, so while we were at the Olympia, obviously we were trying to make the best of it and try and get as much work done as possible. But honestly, the hamstring really wasn't like my biggest concern. It was my calf on the other leg because I tore that too. So I had both legs completely out.
Oh, fuck.
Because the one that I tore my calf on is the leg that I kicked back to flex the ham, the glute, and all that. But I couldn't stand on it. But everybody sees how drastic the hamstring looks. They're like, holy shit, we got to get this hamstring. And I'm like, fuck this hamstring. Like, I can't walk on this leg, man. Like, I can't move.
Yeah.
And that's why I never really talked about the calf. Because people were like, you're being a bitch. Get on stage, do your thing. So I made a bigger deal out of the hammy. Yeah. But I couldn't do anything. But once, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, rolled around, I was just like, this isn't happening. Like,
do you think if the calf never happened, you would have forced trying to make stage, or the ham was too far?
No.
Oh, yeah?
Because here's the thing, right? Like, I don't know how. I do know how it looked leading up to the show. It would look like dog shit, but that's one. That was one area.
Yeah.
With everything I have done, I would like fuck it. Like I look. This is gonna hold me back, but I guarantee you, I'll still get third. Motherfuckers, watch me, because I was peeled inside and out.
Yeah.
Watching that Olympia back, no disrespect to anyone else, but nobody was as hard as I was. Nobody was as lean as I was. Peeled, hard, dry, you name it. That was that to a T.
Yeah, because it seemed like everybody had like either they were hard from the front, hard from the back. You know what I'm saying? But like the balance of hardness.
And if this little area was the only thing holding me back and just slowing me down a little bit, I said, "Fuck it, we're finishing it."
What's up, Stu?
Because because I couldn't even stand on the other leg. I'm like, I'm fucked. Like literally, I'm fucked. It was like literally, it looked like one of those dollar coins that was just in my calf, and it wouldn't move.
That's not cool. Like Milo, we all love Milo, but he's like,
that's the dumbest shit he could have ever said to me.
how, bro? You're gonna limp on the stage in crutches and then like throw the crutches and pose.
I still would have done it. Oh, with what? How are you gonna? Are you shitting me, dude? I love Milos, but we're all like, okay, bro, like you're fucking with us, right?
Oh yeah, but I didn't know if he was serious or he was fucking around, but I think he was serious. But okay, so right after that, right, where once you understand that this is not happening, right? What's the mindset? Okay, let me make improvements. Let me add size, or let me.
I was very not happy for the longest time.
Okay.
I remember when me and Matt finally had that conversation. It was Wednesday morning, I believe, or Tuesday morning. He just looked at me. He was like, "Just go get some breakfast, bro. Go relax." And I went on a binge. I didn't give a fuck. I said, "Fuck it." I went on a binge. I said, luckily though, I didn't go through the whole water process and diuretic and all that bullshit. So I didn't have any rebound effect. So I actually lost weight by the time I got back to Vegas.
I think it's important to hear that, because we all know like the top pros are all like super strict, but we're still human, bro. So mentally, like taking a hit like that, like, yo, you can't step on stage. Mentally, you still got to go through the same process that normal people go through to like get your mind right, because you're kind of fucked up mentally at that point, right?
It was, and because when I knew it happened, I just laughed. I did. Like once I saw like the little inflammation, the little bruising start to occur, I just laughed. I'm like, really? right now. And then when the calf happened, I'm like, I believe that I always believe God has a plan, but I'm like, homie, like what are we doing? Like what plan is about to erupt here? You understand what I'm saying?
Next?
Like I don't. So I couldn't help for the moment just like laugh and be like, wow, like this is because each day leading up before I left, I could just watch it get worse, and I knew going to Orlando, no matter what anybody was going to do, it wasn't going to happen because it's one of those things where when you tear something partial, it doesn't matter. It's got to run the fucking course before it gets better. You know what I mean? If it happened 4 weeks out and then leading into Orlando, like, we're doing this, let's get some work done, whatever, if it's still fucked up, then I probably would have been good. But knowing it happened a week out, it was just beginning the course. And there was nothing no one was going to do. But I also didn't want to not go and then have, like, the what if in the back of my head because that probably would fuck me up even more. So I was like, fuck it. Let's, we'll see what happens.
Any of you guys ever had to pull out of a show last minute or maybe thought that you were going to have to pull out? Bad shot, fucking tear, injury? No? Nobody?
No.
Nobody ever had like a bad shot close to the show and fucking was nervous that they weren't going to make it? It's happened to me before.
I cut injections a week out, man.
Yeah, me too. I do now, but at one point I didn't. So what's up, Stu? What's up, Joe?
Hey, one week.
It looked like Stu just woke up.
You probably did.
How's the back feeling, Joe? Back sore from yesterday? Can you hear us, Joe? Oh, we can't hear you.
He's on mute.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
He's
He's probably talking this whole time. We didn't hear him, motherfucker. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on over there? But Stu, oh shit, he disappeared. He not getting back on. There's too much people. Fuck it, he gonna come back.
To Joe.
Bye, Joe. Stu, did you start off season yet, or still health?
I got health. Yeah, I got one more month until I start prep, so I'm probably gonna get blood work in a couple weeks here. See how fucked everything is.
You're in the health phase too.
He doesn't call it health phase because Stu has no health.
Here. Huh? You guys hear me?
I know.
Hear me?
Yeah.
I was saying a couple things. I said a couple things. And y'all just ignored me. I was like, "Fuck you, then."
We didn't hear shit. So yeah, so I actually wanted to talk about like off season, right, or gaining size because I feel like we all have different approaches. I feel like Zayd's approach is more similar to Nick. Granted, Zayd hasn't really made a push yet. I think Stu is maybe similar to Nick as well, but then I feel like us three are Compton guys, so it's like it's like old school, just fucking push until the wheels fall off, right? So, I
think maybe Nick and I don't get as fat as easy as you guys, but Nick probably still eats a lot of food.
Not as much as you, motherfucker.
No, definitely not. You eat probably a lot more than me.
Yeah. So let's start with
Stu's diet. Stu, you don't do fats, right?
I have like barely any.
See, yeah. I rather see that's where me and Stu will differ. Is he does the high protein, high carb. I do more moderate protein, moderate high carb, moderate high fat.
Okay.
I was thinking that the other day, right? Because when he said the 500 protein and like 1,000 carbs, I was like,
there's no way you could fit fats in that, especially if he's already struggling to eat.
That's why I don't do it, because like if I put like just a tablespoon of olive oil in there, it's gonna like bog down that meal for another hour, and it's like sludge going through me.
And protein's already hard to digest as is, so why are you gonna add something that's also hard to digest?
Okay, so fat has double the calories, a little over double the calories of carbs, right? So Stu, what if you had 100 grams of fat in there, and then now you could drop the carbs by 200, to maybe 800. Did you ever try that?
I've done that previous to working with Blue, but I think that it's just not going to be as good for body composition. like I mean, admittedly, when I was doing like more fats back in the day, like, I was also just getting fatter in the off season because I had less muscle. It was easier for me to get fatter. But like, I think, it's dietary fats when you just eat them just straight, they're easier to store as body fat. If you eat carbs, they have to, they have to go through a couple of metabolic steps in order to get stored that way, and they're more likely going to be used for energy than dietary fats.
You see, like going by the textbook, I agree. But when I have higher carbs, but when I have really high, when I have really high carbs, I look softer. Like I'm not gonna look. I'm not looking like Stu with high carbs. You know what I'm saying?
I do. My fats is probably well over 100 grams a day.
I'm a lot like Nick. That's my gym performance is way better when my fats are higher.
I know for me, carbs is essential. We all know this. You need carbs. But I know when I have like lower carbs and I do a little bit of a higher fat, I don't feel as inflamed, so to speak. But my energy is just as fine, if not better.
Well, carbs aren't essential for a human being, but they're essential for a bodybuilder. That's sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with since Stu is already on subject. Stu, so let's say let's not say pro because there's less pros, right? So let's say this is an amateur bodybuilder. He won a couple overalls. He wants to go do nationals. He wants to take his physique to the next level. He needs like 10 pounds of tissue, right? I guess you got to get a little bit specific because everybody's different. But let's say he has he's kind of right down the middle. Not a crazy metabolism like you, not a fucked up metabolism like me and Joe, but kind of in between. He's been competing 5-6 years. How do you go about doing his off-season program to add this tissue?
Well, obviously, first step is 10 units of growth at least.
I'm
kidding.
That helps body composition for sure.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, it would. I mean,
carpal tunnel syndrome.
Don't do 10 though. That's because people starting to take it seriously now. So we can't. If we joke,
you want to hear
we got to tell them.
You want to hear some shit,
bro? I'm starting that shit next month. You think I'm kidding?
Well, you're gonna have to catch up, Zig. Blue just bumped me up to 15, so we gotta see how that goes.
What the
Yikes!
Listen, I'm like 2 days in. I haven't really noticed anything yet, but you wanted to bump it to 12 and go slower up, but I was like, listen, dude, I use a bottle a day. I'd rather just use a bottle and a half
to even it out. Yeah.
I don't want to do all that fucking math. It's just.
I kind of feel responsible nowadays to just be like, don't do 15 IU to growth, please.
I don't think I'm gonna last very long on this, honestly.
Not only that's gonna burn a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. How do you feel though? Do your hands get puffy?
I'm 2 days in. I haven't really noticed much yet. I mean, maybe I'm a little more tired, but
your forehead and nose look a little bigger. So
yeah,
does it? Yeah, look a little bigger.
Baby, my nose is big.
His hair looks shorter.
I wouldn't lie to go. Look at my hands, bro. I told you this is.
Boy.
Nick's hands don't look that bad though. They don't look puffy. Well, he's also.
I don't run that as high anymore.
Yeah. I would. I will hope not.
Just to be clear, this is an experiment. Probably not going to keep this in as a staple, but
don't try to clean that shit up now, Stu. You already said it.
Well, I do the 10 I used to sounds better, or it sounds better than 15 I used to. There's too many syllables. Yeah, so I don't think it's going to stick.
Yeah.
We'll just stick with 10 for branding purposes. But
other than the growth,
what was the question? Yeah.
How do you go about his off-season program?
Well, I
think, diet and training wise, let's say.
I think most people probably need a little bit of cardio in the morning. Just straight out of bed. I personally don't. I imagine some of you guys probably don't, but I'm gonna keep that in a class program for most of the off season if they're kind of in the middle, like you were talking about. first thing I'd probably do is like gradually ramp up carbs and protein sort of like in proportion to each other up until you're eating like 9 or 10 ounces of meat in a meal. If say they're like a heavyweight bodybuilder, you know,
Mhm.
if you're like a middleweight, then no, I'm probably not going to have you on that much. But
Let's say they're like a heavy or super, depending on their height.
yeah, so like you're looking at like probably 9, 10 plus a meal for 5 or 6 meals a day. And then when you get really capped out at the top, with the carbs and the protein, like, keep an eye on their blood sugar. Because if your carbs get really high, I think I've talked about this before, like you may just not be producing enough insulin endogenously, like from your pancreas to like handle all of it. So you might need a little help from like Lantus or something, like 10, 20 units. And
especially if you take
that. Yeah.
Especially if you take 15 out of growth, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing about you have to kind of like differentiate between like, are your fasted blood sugars rising because you're insulin resistant, or are they rising because you're eating so goddamn much and you can't handle it? And you kind of judge that based off of body composition. So like if they're getting fat and getting fatter faster, and you look back over pictures of the last month or two, they're probably just getting insulin resistant. So adding Lantus on top of that, that's just going to make them even fatter. Which you don't want to do. So at that point, you'd have to like pull back and reset a little bit. But I've had a couple of guys who like, they're still like lean. They got separation, they got abs, obliques, straps, all that shit. And like I put in like 20 units of Lantus, and they're like, dude, I feel so much better. Their blood sugars went down from like 105, 110 down to like 90, 95 range, and they're feeling way better. They're fuller. They're training better. It's like, oh, okay, that was the issue. And you can kind of ratchet that up pretty far. If you start taking, 50 units of Lantus in the morning, that's a lot. Like you should probably, pull back regardless there, because you don't want to become overly dependent on this extra insulin.
So Stu, what I'm kind of getting at is that, okay, so basically 9 ounces of protein, 9 ounces of carbs, and you titrate up, but how high do you titrate up? So you're looking at them, they're sending you pictures. What do you want them to look like? Like, do you care how heavy they get? Do you care how lean they are? Do you care, do you care about that kind of shit? Like, are you looking at their waist? Are you looking at their
so let's say they're a heavyweight, and they're like the top of the heaviest, like 220, and they want to compete in the supers next year. They're probably going to have to get up to like 280, at their peak off season. So like, that's going to be 60 pounds over their original stage weight, but we're not talking about original stage weight. We're talking about like next year we want to be a super
new stage weight.
Yeah. So, so you're going to have to like push up pretty far. And like, I don't want to, having water on you is fine. As long as you have your blood pressures under control, like water is fine. I don't want you getting fat though. And you kind of have to differentiate between the two.
Fat and water.
And if you bump up like certain drugs and they put on like 5 pounds, okay, that was water, it wasn't fat. If
they're looking like me, do you keep pushing them, or do you say, yo, stop this shit?
Justin's been making fun of you because he said you were fat, right? Well, Nick, that was Nick.
No, that's Nick.
Yeah, Nick says fat.
I pull you back, homie, you fat.
Well, I mean, you've talked about this before. It's like you've zigzagged on it. Like I remember after the USA's, we competed.
It's a balance.
Together. It's all about balance, right, Beatty?
Yeah.
There's no balance here.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are you like 300 pounds right now?
I've been dropping, the heaviest I was about 305. Now I'm like 298-ish. But visually, I'm looking better, and most importantly, I'm feeling better. So my appetite is better, my sleep is better. Even my strength was up when I trained with the boys. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a better overall look. You know what I'm saying?
STREMF, strength.
Strength, yeah.
Strength.
So let's
dude. I don't think you should push up higher than like 305, but I mean, me personally, like this off season, I got up to like the mid 280s and basically stayed there for 2 months. I wasn't pushing past that because I didn't want to get heavier than that because it feels like shit.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't need way more tissue. I don't think
No.
you do either, honestly, for your frame,
Right.
just in certain spots.
That's an area. Let's go. Let's go, Nick. I feel like Nick wants to chime in.
I want to know, what do you compete at? What's your weight on stage?
Oh, me personally, me.
Yeah.
This last year USA's I was 242, but I felt like I was flat.
No, okay, just stop there. Just stop there.
Okay.
You were 240.
Okay,
you were 242.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you weigh when you started prep?
Last year, 280.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, but
You were
the prep
heavier
wasn't
prior to that, though, right?
Yes,
Like-
well, prior to that off season, yeah, but I felt like I lost muscle in that prep. I got to be honest. Like the way I started, because the 280 wasn't like the way I look. The 280 was a lot better looking than I look now. I felt like I lost because I did 2 shows. Mind you, I did the Cal, then I dieted for 9 more weeks. So we're talking about 30 weeks of dieting. So I don't think that was the best look I could have gotten with that 280. You know what I'm saying?
I don't remember how you looked at USA's, but I know you weren't peeled by any means.
No, I feel like I could have been I feel like I could have been leaner and also bigger at the same time. But probably the same weight. Probably the same weight, but just like a better composition.
You're flat too, bro.
Yeah, because the key was that they at the Cal they said they want me to come in lighter. So my weight wasn't dropping, so I went extreme and dropped, went really, really low on calories. And I don't think it was a better look personally. But let's go to Nick on the bodybuilder off season trying to gain weight, muscle.
Well, okay. So I'm obviously, I believe more now, so in a more moderate protein approach, and I like to just more fluctuate between carbs and fats the most. But I've been I've done preps or off seasons where I've blown up and gotten too big. And, right before everyone came on, we had a discussion briefly. I don't think it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't, because look at it in this perspective. Like I've gone through a prep where I've lost, I think the most was like 75 pounds.
Damn.
Whoa, what year was that?
He didn't have 2 million followers.
That was like in my beginning phase type of shit.
Yeah.
He didn't have 2 million
but
followers.
You look at it, but during that off season, like I wasn't like fat. Like I wasn't like, it was a lot of water. But at the same time, you look back and you're like, what was the point of getting that big to lose all that weight? So now,
because it felt awesome. Like you're fucking huge. Like
no,
strong as fuck in the gym too.
I didn't want to get out of bed, bro. Like training. That was when I would do like one hard set and be like, I want to go home. I'm done. Everything. Yeah, because you're fat. But the problem is when you get to that point.
Don't be mean, Nick.
When you get to that point, everything goes to shit. Though your training goes to shit. You don't want to eat. You're insulin resistant. You can look at food and just get fatter at that point. Like, what's the point? I'd rather keep digestion on point, which for me, look, moderate protein, and just fuck with carbs and fats. On off days, I do lower carbs. Why? Because I'm not burning it. What do I need it for? And it helps keep the stomach tighter. I'd rather gain weight. I'm still talking, motherfucker. I'd rather gain weight at a slower rate. I'd rather gain weight at a slower rate, make sure training performance is high enough, make sure recovery is where it needs to be, and go from there. When you shoot up fucking 67, for what? You're going to lose it all. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be like, well, only put on like 5 pounds of stage weight? That's it. Like, for what? Well, because you probably got insulin resistant for the most part, so now you really ain't doing shit. And if you keep the blood glucose in range every single time, you could stay lean in the off season and put on 10 pounds. It's that fucking simple. Seriously.
Yeah.
I think that's more easily done at this point like in your career, Nick? Because like I remember seeing you in Tampa in 22, and you were like over 300 pounds at that point, and you were like fucking 5 feet wide. It was like the craziest shit I've ever seen.
I was, but I didn't feel like shit.
When you were in Tampa, really?
Yeah,
You felt good at 300 pounds there?
I felt pretty fine. Yeah.
Wow.
Stu was trying to call you fat, but he's being
No,
nice.
no, I wasn't, because I remember seeing pictures of him. It was like,
But I'm at that
he's
point
that
to
big and
where
he's not fat, you know?
I don't even want to hit that weight again. But if I do, it's because I feel fine.
So
You understand what I'm saying? And the body composition. If I start to get into a range where I'm like, I don't, it's just counterproductive. What's the point?
Yeah, like you were probably on track, correct me if I'm wrong, to like be on stage at like 260 this year, something like that.
I would for this year?
Yeah, before the Olympics.
Less.
I would have been about 255, 258-ish.
Okay. Yeah, so like you probably, what do you weigh now? Like 275, 280 something?
280.
Yeah, so like you could probably get in I mean, not that you would do this necessarily. You probably like longer prep, but like you could get in shape in like 8 weeks if you needed to. You know,
Right now,
you're like in striking distance. I know you're still lean from after the show. Like, so, you know, but you also don't need like 10 pounds of tissue at this point. Like, are you going to try to compete at 265, 270? Like, I don't think that would be good for you. Like,
The only way I would is if it looked good, right?
Yeah.
But no, I don't. Like I would have been, like I said, at this Olympia, I would have been about 255, 258-ish, which was relatively about what I weighed last Olympia when I got third. But this was a much different look.
Yeah.
I was harder. I was more conditioned, drier. But then again, and people are like, "Oh, you're the same weight. You didn't really put nothing on." I did put a muscle on. The problem is for that Olympia, I just wasn't as conditioned as this one. So what does that mean? Is I put more muscle on. I could have sucked down more for that Olympia and been more appealed. So yeah, I might have relatively been the same weight, but I was a lot bigger. And I think people can't know what that means. And they're like, "Oh, you didn't put nothing on." It's like, but I did though. You know,
the numbers don't really mean as much at past a certain level, right? Because like, you know, it's harder to get fat when you're like, you know, 255 on stage kind of muscularity. You know, like you have a little more margin for like eat a little too much, eat a little too little. Like you're still gonna stay really fucking lean because you have so much muscle that's just gonna burn through all the calories, and you're not gonna get sloppy fat. So like. It's a little different. I'm experiencing this personally. Like, you know,
it also comes with, now that you're deep in it as well, I think it comes with just prepping over time where you go down so far and then you come back up. You go down so far. You're going to just keep staying leaner and leaner. And you're also going to find out, which I tested, you know, that a bit, you know, during last all season, you can get away with eating more shit and not get fat.
I've eaten more garbage just to keep my calories up. Like, I'm not proud to admit it, but
I wouldn't go out to eat, you know, for me, because for someone who doesn't ever go out to eat, I would used to go out to eat once, twice a week, and I would fucking eat. And you get to a certain point where your body, because you keep going up and down, you stay leaner for a long period of time, you keep that fat off, you can get away with certain things and not get fat.
And also, like, coming out of that Arnold, like, that was probably the hardest you've ever been, right?
Yeah.
23 Arnold. So
I will debate that, but I think that was my best look.
I agree. People are giving you shit for, like, your legs being down or something, but, like, dude, they're still really big. Like,
well, I looked at, like, that was, like, the main feedback. Like, I remember when the show was done, I'm backstage. One of, you know, the judges came back and was like, "Yeah, man, like those 6 pounds that you lost, it was in your legs." I'm like, "That's what I lost." So then I went back and looked at photos, and I'm like, "Looks about the same to me, man. Just a little more conditioned, if you want me to be honest." You know, but despite, maybe I wasn't as full as the Olympia, but my conditioning was way ahead. and I wasn't flat. I
I
was
didn't
still
see it.
cool.
I
I
didn't
had
see
you
Like
it.
winning
a 7 out
also.
of 10 on you is still pretty fucking impressive, even if it's not a 9 out of 10, because
Yeah,
you just
I
have so
mean,
much tissue on you.
Mhm.
could we have probably gotten away with obviously filling out more? Yeah, of course. I was that peeled, but
I got to.
I still don't think I was like flat in the way they made it seem out to be. I was like, I mean, I feel all right.
I got to be honest. I didn't see. I didn't see flat personally. Is it okay if I talk now, Nick?
Go ahead, bro.
You got a talking stick.
No, I got to be honest. I mean, I didn't see flat. I mean, Nick's leg, it's not shaped like his sweep is a little lower, right? But it's always like that, even when he's full. You know, so if you want to say, okay, you need more sweep, that's one thing, right? But it didn't seem to affect him any other show. I thought he was leaner, and I thought he was more than full enough. Personally, that's what I saw. I'm not a
I think
judge.
to some extent, maybe not the judges, but at least the color commentators, like they need to rationalize and justify the judging decision that was made after the show
Yeah.
Yeah,
when
for
it's
sure,
a
for
really
sure.
close call. So, like,
I see what you're saying.
oh, they hear Nick was lighter. Okay, he must have been too flat. That's what we're going to go with. We're going to roll with
Well,
that.
I agree. Like if they would have said, you know, Nick's sweeps weren't popping, sure, that makes sense. But to say my legs look small, I don't.
Yeah.
That's not accurate.
I feel like I would rather them say, okay, Samson is winning on shape and just leave it at that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why he won.
And that would
Yeah.
send like a way clearer message to us as competitors. You know,
I think so.
It's like
I think so.
if you're leaning in this direction, like tell us, please.
Let me know, please,
so we
'cause
understand what the fuck
I got no
we're
shape.
supposed to shoot for. Yeah.
Yeah. Like flat is like, okay, this is flat to me is off. If you're flat, I think that means you're off. You can't be peaked like near 100% and be flat because that would insinuate you're off, right? Am I
When you're
wrong here?
flat, you look soft. Like, and
You don't
Nick
look
didn't
good when you're flat.
soft. Like there,
I was hard, man.
yeah, nothing pops when you're flat. So he just like he wasn't flat, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. Did we finish the off season conversation? Or
Forget.
let's go to the let's go to the Compton guys because I feel like we kind of grew up doing it a little bit different.
Yeah. Let's hear the Compton method.
but
Send
all but also before I move on, I wanted to say, okay, Nick, I feel like you were referring more to like yourself and now, but do you see benefits
I
into
do.
like a
Way better.
no, not for yourself. I'm saying, dude, but do you see benefits for like a younger guy getting heavier like a few times? Not sloppy fat, but being not very lean and
Yes,
softer.
I can see being heavier. Yes. But do I think getting overly fat? No. Like, in my opinion, a peak off season, you should still look like a bodybuilder. Things should still be shaped. Abs should still be visible. I mean, you shouldn't have fucking glute lines by any means, but like you should be able to see muscles, all of it. You understand what I'm saying?
I want to make that
If it kind
clear.
of looks like everything's just jumbled together,
Mhm.
you're too fat. You fucked up.
No muffin top.
I just wanted to make that clear because we debate about minutia and we agree on the bigger picture. So when we have these convos, somebody's gonna be like, I have clients who are afraid to get big, but they're like shredded, and it's like we're not shredded, but they're a lot leaner than off-season condition needs to be, and they're like, no, I don't want to get any bigger, and it's like, bro, you're way too small. You do have to get bigger. So
And
I want to make
right. And I also look at it as a perspective where we're professionals. You need to
I
present
mean-
yourself as a professional. You want to be one, so you act like one, motherfucker. But if you're getting fat in your off season and not, you walk around like a wolf, you're not acting like a professional, bro. Like you're not setting a good standard. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I think a lot more people need to understand. I don't expect anyone to fucking be like stage lean or walk around fucking 8% body fat year round. It's dumb as shit. But when you walk around and you got a shirt on, and you can tell you got some fat boy arms rolling around up in here. it's like you should probably relax a little bit, my friend.
Let's go Paul, because Paul has a really good metabolism, but also pushes the food really, really hard at the same time. So how do you feel you should go about it?
My pushing, I mean, I hit what 290, almost 300 last off season, but normally I'm around 285, 290 on all my pushes, and that last year was the highest I went. But I mean, as far as pushing for a newcomer, I mean, to gain 10 pounds of size, I mean, I would definitely have to push them to the point of I mean, heavy enough you can still see your ab definition, whatever. But definitely put some size on them, put some weight on them.
Yeah, but also I feel like people look different. Like I feel like Paul can push the food and maybe have pretty high body fat, but he never looks like he never looks fat. He just doesn't have that.
It's also
that
like I said, we can have all these conversations, but the reality of it is everybody's different in his personal.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we had this talk in a text where it's like, I want to push the food as high as I can, so that way when I diet down, I don't have to eat 1,200 calories. It's like, I get it, that's a fact. But if you're a fat as fuck, guess what? You're still gonna have to go really low in calories to get peeled. If you're eating, let's just say Stu, right? Let's just say Stu, he's eating 5,000 calories, right? Probably more. He's pretty lean. He probably won't have to go so low. But let's just say Joe eating 5,000 calories, fat as fuck. He's gonna have to drop pretty fucking low and do a lot of cardio. That's just the way it is.
Joe is not as fat as he looks. Joe holds his.
Well, I'm just using him as an example. I'm not.
Poor Joe.
I was like, well, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
He holds his fat in like a very not flattering way. You know?
No, okay,
like
no,
it's like
that's
right
true.
around his trunk. You know, I'm all spread out.
Well, I think I'm more like Stu now, where like I'm more spread out as well. Like before, like instantly, I would get the lower back fats, my glute, everything. Now it's everything I notice is kind of just spreading out a little more, and things are staying more tighter than normal as I get older. But
bro, don't take this the wrong way. No more cankles.
No more
basement pictures. A lot of people don't know about that shit, man.
Yeah, Nick was getting big in the past. We didn't forget Nick. We ain't forget that shit, Nick.
I never denied it.
No, I know. Well, but as you get bigger, you actually shouldn't get bigger, right? If you're competing at like Stu said, what if you're at 275? Do you go up to 350? No, you don't do that. You just stay lighter.
Getting back to that, even when I was getting big around that age, it was counterproductive, because for what? It's not like fucking show to show I was packing on 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. It would just pretty much all come off.
Well, that was and if you guys water in your ankles, right? Like when you were like the sock lines, that was just water. So, but it's not necessarily good for you, but like it's also just water. So like when you change your food and your drugs, like it'll go away. So
for sure,
not a huge deal.
But I also don't think you need to get that watery.
No,
there's a fine line of water is healthy on your body, and then like, all right, that's a little much. What was I saying? I forgot
the topic. Shit. What the hell are you talking about?
We're all saying, like, is it necessary? And I think to an extent, like, Nick can't go back and change time to do the whole get big, like, and stay leaner thing. I just think you only have to go so far before you cut it off, right? So I hit a point. So okay, I have my love handles and shit, but I also created a higher ceiling now. So every time I do get bigger or get like, I'll never have to do this again. But every time I get closer and closer to this number, kind of like Nick, I will be tighter and tighter and tighter. So, but I created the ceiling of an appetite as well as the potential higher metabolism in a room to get into a size that's conditioned like Nick is right now, but just over time. So that's all I believe it's for. I don't think it's something you have to do all the time. but it's very gradual. Like the first time I did this, from a natural athlete, I went from 185 on stage to 218 between shows, shredded.
Mhm.
So I had 40 pounds right there. And then going to
Was
USA.
that when you started gear though?
Huh?
That was when you
Yeah,
started.
no,
gear.
yeah. So that year doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's the gear, bro.
The other show, I gained it was what, potentially like 20 pounds, Paul?
Yeah,
Because
some 18
we
right
took an extra 10 pounds off because I was supposed to be a heavyweight. But I was ready at 233. So I put on another like 15, 20 pounds. This time around, we'll see what I did. But even talking to Paul, like, I'll never have to do this again because there's no need. Yeah, there's no need. But when I get to 260, 270 after this pro debut or whatever, like off season, that off season look is gonna, like, I will stay tight and gradually grow as you are now. It's just like there's like steps in this shit that we all kind of took, and it always looked ugly at first. I was like, oh, should we have done it better? I really don't think so. I think it's necessary.
All I say is I feel like I've grown more this way than getting huge.
But you gave yourself that ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think for skinny kids, which I am, like I was like a $180, $170 in high school. So like
you kind of have to push, because you're
I'm-
skinny.
Someone like Stu does, yes.
I'm what you would call a hard gainer, even though I fucking hate that word. It's like a cop out pussy term. But like, yeah, you have to force feed yourself.
But it's
Like,
true.
to some extent, you have to like force yourself to kind of get fat. You know, I was drinking chocolate milk back in like 2018 and just trying to get as much calories as I could. It was horrible. I got fatter than I ever had, but like that's the first time I hit 250 too.
Yeah.
And then I did it again. I got to like 265, and then I competed at like 217 or something. So
I think Zayd is gonna have to push it just because Zayd
Zayd's
has been
gonna have to push.
Yeah, even have to
Yes,
push
sir.
because Zayd is he's a laid back guy. Zayd is doing enough to win, right? Just enough to win. So if he only has to take 500 tests to win his card, that's all he's gonna do. But I think once you're a pro, you gotta. I'm not saying do something stupid, but just in general, I think Zayd is gonna have to push really high. And I don't think Zayd is gonna get fat. I've never seen Zayd fat though. You know,
I do get
It's like
fat though. I really do.
Even with
If
the
I eat bad, I look bad. Honestly. You
well,
know?
don't eat bad.
And yeah, well, that's the point. And I just want to say, muscularity is not defined by weight. That's a very important thing to remember, and it's also very important to remember what your weaknesses are. So it's not always about fucking weight, bro. Honestly, I could be super light and I can stand. I've stood next to somebody like, Doug is 350, 325. I mean. And when he was in his peak off season, and I was about 218, fuck, man, I didn't look so small. I didn't look so small at all. So it's all about how big your waist is, how sweepy your quads are, and honestly, like it's just how you hold it. So I fucking forgot about the weight. But now that I need to focus about the weight, I have to eat and just forget about just fucking get huge, And that's the plan, dude. That's a very much. I'm very excited to start my first off season.
Nick's like 285 and like 5'8" or some shit. That's pretty fucking huge.
5'7"
and 5'7.5". Were you gonna add something?
That's pretty fucking big, Zayd. It's a big number.
Definitely. But there's more to it than just the number.
Yeah, there's more to it.
No, he's right.
Yeah.
Were you gonna add something to that, Nick? You were gonna tell Zayd something?
Well, I was even going to say, because I remember watching one of these podcasts, what Stu said. He says eventually you get to a point where even with, protocols, you don't have to do much anymore. Mm-hmm. And I've actually noticed over time, the less I do, it's like the better results I've actually gotten.
Probably healthier overall than you were a few years ago. Like you probably feel better. I mean,
it's
corny as it is, because honestly, it's the God's honest truth, and it applies for everything. It's less is somewhat more. It's get the most out of the least, and I feel like that goes with protocol. I feel like that goes with food. I feel like that goes with training. maximize as much as you can with the least amount as possible before you push up. And I feel like in this day and age, we want to maximize everything to the extreme right off Jump Street. And then you got people that get on stage now and they just look like a fucking true science experiment. And I know that sounds hypocritical because that's what I look like on stage. But
we love it.
No, but like take it from someone who knows, been through it all. My training, I swear to God, is the best it's ever been. I barely touch anything at this point. And I know people are going to watch this and be like, you fucking bullshit motherfucker. It's the God's honest truth. And
it's hard to believe.
Everything has been superior than what it was back in the day, trying to push everything known to man.
One thing we all can attest to is that you don't get into that kind of condition and hardness on a boatload of drugs because you can't. We've tried it. We've tried it. I know I've tried it.
Thank you for saying that, because here's the thing: when the more drugs you do, it's all this oil rummaging through your body.
Yeah,
you can't get hard. It's just not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
So the less of this shit you got to do, the better your body's just gonna fucking look. It's plain. It's literally plain and simple.
100%. I remember Konevsky. He was my training partner for a while, and I was kind of half helping him with prep. And he was dieting his ass off, cardio his ass off, and he wasn't getting leaner. But at the time, Konevsky was like on 4 grams a test, like you know what I'm saying?
That's
and
never not gonna make me laugh, dude. Such a crazy dude,
bro. Have you the fact that he's telling people what he takes and people don't believe him because it's too much? They're like, you're just lying. You're trying to get clout. And I'm like, no, the motherfucker really is taking this, right? But yeah, he wasn't dropping any weight. And I'm like, bro, you have to lower the drugs if you want to drop some weight. And then he cut the test in like a fraction, and boom, he lost all that weight. Because you cannot get super peeled if you're on a boatload of growth and insulin and tests. You can't get in shape. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? So I know people believe this, but the truth is that the guys who are winning these shows, the guys who are getting last place are taking more drugs. That's why they look like shit. And maybe somebody like Stu, who has like a crazy metabolism and is naturally skinny, could get away with 10, 15 IUs of growth. But me, I think I look worse.
He's gonna hate that in a couple of days.
Yeah, he's not gonna like it very much.
Yeah, I will report back on Sunday, boys.
We all did some level of experimenting in our early 20s, and I would push the drugs. Okay, I look a little better, and then I would get to a point where I keep looking worse. But then I'm like, no, but I have to take this much drugs, to be competitive, and then I keep looking worse, and I have to completely throw it out the window and be like, this is not working, so I have to do something else. And like Nick said, every year I take a little bit less, and I'm like, it's crazy because I'm thinking these drugs was making me look this way, and then you realizing it hasn't been. Well, the drugs obviously did its part, but not the amount. The amount, you were just going backwards. Nobody wants to hear this shit. Everybody wants to hear, I'll take more drugs, I'll look better. But you don't, so.
I know, like, personally, I'm going to be probably lowering my doses and just kind of shifting the compounds I'm using this year, because I'm going to be competing for like a month or two straight, basically. So if I have to stay in like show condition with like, peaked out orals and, tren and whatever, then I'm not going to be able to take like 500 mgs of tren for like 6 weeks straight. It's going to be terrible. I might do like 250, 300, and like maybe do some more primo and just like take less of the orals because I'm going to have to be doing it for longer. This is all stuff that I'm starting to consider now, because I've only ever hit like, 1 or 2 shows back to back. I haven't had to do a whole season and stay fresh.
Trend, 300 trend is a sweet spot. Any more than 300, honestly, man, I don't feel like I look better, but that's just me. All right.
Try 2 grams, bro.
Yeah. Zayd.
Yo, boy,
I'm gonna have to edit that out in case somebody screenshots that. But I wanted to. Andrew pulled out the Arnold, so let's pull up Andrew. Did you guys
real quick before we do Andrew? Derek had a baby. Well, his wife had a baby, but
yeah, he did.
It's pretty awesome.
Didn't we see that last episode? Didn't we talk about that?
You
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
You
we
brought
did.
it up.
I think we did.
We did.
Nick
You don't
was
think you're
better
on
than me.
that?
Jesus.
Yeah, my man was really upset that no one talked about Derek's baby.
Yeah, because it's like,
And I agree. No, I agree with you. That's big news.
yeah, they're talking about what's in, what's in Heidi's glutes and what's in Sean Clarita's biceps, but they didn't even.
That was the dumbest shit I've ever fucking seen, bro.
Bro.
Like, my man is just trying to do some preacher curls. Everyone's like, oh, Sindal. Get the fuck. Leave the man alone, bro.
You got to understand that, like, when you have that much muscle on that short of a limb, it's going to look funky. Like, Nick's arms look crazy when he's doing preacher girls too. And I remember you posted some video like years ago, and Victor Martinez said, like, man, I've only seen bicep peaks that big with synthol in them. And he's just like, what the fuck?
And the next thing you know, everyone starts questioning me.
Yeah. Like, Victor, what the fuck?
Like that, Vic.
Listen, if your bicep is loaded with oil, there's gonna be no debate. It's gonna be very fucking obvious. Nobody has to tell you. You can tell, So, same with Bonac. I remember Bonac had a couple of patients where people like,
yeah, you can
synthol.
tell people. You have to understand, Sean. Like, Sean's huge, man.
Big dude.
Sean is like, he literally comes up to nipple length of me, and he's just a big ball of muscle. Like, he's huge. I'll never forget the first time I actually had a training session with him. I was still an amateur. I was getting ready. It was the year I turned pro at North American. It was in January. We're both in like still height of the off season. And we filmed when it was Matt Jansen had his like little
website.
Like, we all posted videos. So we did a collab. And we're doing shoulders. And he walks in with his hoodie on. I got mine on, whatever, we're training. And for video purposes, I'm like, the guy Joe Reiser at the time was filming. He's like, you're not take that shirt off. And you know how Sean is. Sean don't, But we're in the heat of the off season. This motherfucker takes his hoodie off. I have never seen such round, hard muscle the way it was on him in my entire fucking life. Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit. And he's like, yeah, bro, I see what I want too.
Yeah, I think I heard that on a podcast. That the off season he kind of just like chills out, right? He eats.
He does.
How does he fucking? But he doesn't get fat though.
No, that's black genetics, man. For real.
I'm black.
Well, okay, so I feel like with black genetics, it goes one way or the other.
It does.
Beatty came on the wrong boat.
Either you're Lionel Bayeki or you're Sean Clarita. I happen to be Lionel Bayeki, right?
But yeah, Sean, as far as I know, I don't think I've ever seen Sean like fat ever.
Yeah, no, me neither. All right. So Andrew Jack pulled out the Arnold. Good move, bad move. Did you see it coming? Were you caught off guard?
Here's the thing with Andrew. His reasonings for what I was heard is completely acceptable, and I'm all for it. But I do think outside of the reasons, I think it was smart. I think my man needs a break. I think my man needs a chill. I feel like he needs to just kind of take an off season and grow a little bit in the right areas. He's not going to lose that shape by any means. He needs to bring up some hammies. He needs to improve quads a little bit. Probably little arms on that. And I think he's, in my opinion, if he ever dials it in 100%, he'll be Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. Shit. He turned pro at the Arnold Amateur 2 years ago now. He hasn't taken more than 5 months off.
He needs a break. He needs an off season.
Yeah. Well, not even off, because he's doing a show like every 4 or 5 months. So we're talking about like, when does he take a break? Never.
Okay, well, yeah. So I think he needs to take a whole year, just chill.
What you think? What you think, Zay?
But then again,
just like you guys.
It also depends how deep he wants to go too, because he's certainly not getting any younger.
No, he's like what? If he 39, 40?
I believe he's in his 40s. I don't know
Man.
mid or high. He's not low 40s, I believe, but he's either mid or high.
I think he turned pro at 38 or 39. Let's not even mention it because I don't know if I don't want to make him older than he is.
I do
But
know
yeah.
he's in his 40s. So
Okay.
that being said, it's one of those things for him where I think he still can improve a good amount, but with the age, it's like, how long do you really want to keep doing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You never know with these Nigerians. They can kind of get away with a lot of shit.
It's funny.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But mentally for him, it's like, how long does he really want to keep doing it?
Facts.
It's just
What was
funny
that?
that like Samson has kind of had a similar schedule as far as like competing frequently, just like him. But
Yeah,
he's been
growing.
He's been growing, season or show to show, which is just insane.
Mhm.
And Andrew hasn't really changed a whole ton. He's put on some muscle, but like,
Good point. Different, like you said, different boats too.
yeah. I'll bet he probably takes like bikini dosages, to get ready for these shows. So like, it's not like an internal health problem. I'd bet. It's just
No, I think a lot of times, and I'm sure Stu could even agree, Joe, we all could agree on this. A lot of times with us that, somewhat push preps, as much as we do, it's not health that's really the problem. It's the mental health that comes in the role first.
being that lean for that long is just not good for you.
Yeah, we could get blood work 4 weeks afterwards, and it's like, yeah, we're good. But mentally, if you're not good, you're not good. You know what I mean? Like, there's not much else to say. If you feel like mentally you're tapped out, you want a break, take the break, bro. Like, no, you're good.
Man, it's hard being 6'2" because I feel like everybody's saying he needs big arms, and his arms are huge. But when you're 6'2" and you have a fucking 7-foot wingspan, you do need more arms, right?
No,
like,
but
it looks like
the thing with Andrew, and this is the God's honest truth. Who's ever been backstage with this man, he blows everyone away.
It's crazy in person. Like shit just moves on him in a way that you don't expect it to move. Like his pec just pops out 6 inches from his ribcage. It's bizarre.
Andrew is literally a cartoon character. Like, when people say it about me, I'm like, no. Andrew is a motherfucking cartoon character.
I'm white. You don't understand.
Yeah, I'm white. I'm on
like backstage, just standing around, we're all pumping up. Like, you just look at him and you're like, fuck, man. Like,
crazy.
Yeah.
What say you, Zaid?
Of course, dude. I think he needs an off season to fix certain body parts like hamstrings and glutes. However, I don't think his hamstrings will ever get to that point where it's going to be just like the other competitors. So I think it's always going to be holding him back. However, if you're a first place winner, you can only get away with not having one body part. You can have everything else, but not one body part. They will be okay with it. So he could still win without a hamstring for sure. But just the guys that are second and first are just better than him, in my opinion. And it was a great idea that he didn't do the show because I didn't have him winning at all, especially when Samson and Hadi are in the lineup. And he can definitely use a break from competing. Being too lean for too long, not having any breaks, it's definitely something to look into. And he needs a break, basically. But I don't think his hamstrings will ever be like hanging, like Tom Prince hamstrings. You know what I mean? He's not going to get that look. Let's be honest. Or he's never going to have super shredded glutes either. So these two things are in his genetic cards. Like, it makes no sense that his entire body is developed except those two areas.
Yeah.
I think he's capped out. Honestly, I think he really is capped out in terms of the hamstrings and glutes. Not the other body parts.
I don't. I disagree. I'll tell you why. Because for me, being shorter, I remember when everyone said at 2019 USA's, I was capped out. I was done. I couldn't get any better. and here I am proving everyone wrong to this day.
I
I
was one
think
of those
he's
guys
still-
saying that, by the way.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, Stu, I can see Stu being that guy.
I just listened to whatever Boston said. Like,
So I don't ever believe, I never put anyone's potential at risk. I think if Andrew really wanted to come back and make all the improvements, I think he can. But again, it's just it's all in the in
Like
your
Samson won without hamstring, without glutes, right? Like
Yeah,
glutes, right?
Yeah, but
so you can
but
always
Samson's-
have everything else except
but that's
one body
because
part.
I just don't feel Samson's conditioned enough. Because if you look at Samson's fucking hamstrings, those things are pretty fucking nutty, if you ask me. I just think Samson needs more condition, and then he'll have some lines in his butt cheeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
So
what do you
okay,
think? He's not dieting hard enough?
I don't know. It's hard to say because like I'm not in that camp, you know. So I don't know if it's a cardio thing. I don't know if it's a diet thing. I don't know if it's a protocol thing. Like I don't really know anything. But what I do know is, if he continues to get leaner, and they do the whole carb up process correct, Samson is a freak of nature. I mean, he already is now. But the moment he gets peeled, come on, like it's and he fills out right.
yeah.
Who,
I don't.
who's beating that? You know.
I don't think conditioning. I don't think peak. Huh? I said, I know what I mean. No, I think at this level, I don't believe anybody's peaking issues or condition issues is due to a lack of hard work, especially not Samson. I just think exactly. I just, like you said, Jay. I just think genetically, it's just way harder
Not
for
for
somebody.
their
Derek,
fun, yeah.
yeah, Derek Lunsford could have shredded glutes at 8 weeks out. I don't think it's because he's working harder
Derek's
than
got
Samson.
shredded glutes in the peak of his offseason.
You see what I mean? And it's not because Derek is working harder than Samson, you know. It's just, same reason why Samson had the better chest than Derek, It's just that's the card. I think all these guys are dieting crazy and training.
Samson's chest is it's ridiculous.
Stupid. But to go back to Andrew Jack, no, Andrew's never gonna have Derek Lunsford glutes, and he's never gonna have he's never gonna have Nick Walker hamstrings. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't need to. He just needs to be a little bit better. Like if his hamstring is 1 inch bigger, if his back is maybe a little bit thicker, just a tiny bit, and the conditioning of fullness matches, that's all he's gonna need.
I'm sorry.
But in that lineup, he's always going to be a little bit short than the other two, right? Even if he gets a bit bigger in the hamstring glutes, the other first and second place in that muscle body, like in that body,
I know what you mean.
Still going to be better than him.
I know what you're saying. Like, what is he gonna do to beat Nick? What is Andrew gonna do to physique to beat Nick, Hadi, and Derek? That's gonna be hard to do. Like, it's easy to say, well, if he just gets shredded and better. But if he is shredded and bigger, does he beat those guys? We can't say for sure,
I do think if he looked the way he looked at Texas at the Olympia, he would have been higher, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah. Even a little bit sharper, I think he beats Brandon.
I honestly think, like, I don't know what goes on in Andrew, training with Chris Cycle and all that. I don't know what they do or anything, but I think. By the way he looked on stage, I think he just looked a little tired.
Yeah. Well,
he looked mad too.
He looked tired mentally as well. Like, you see that salute, how he usually goes like that? He was kind of like...
That can play a role in the body too. So I kind of just think he was just tired, man. Like...
Yeah, you see what like Chris has him do for like cardio, right? He's like dragging sleds and shit outside. I mean... Pretty stuff wild. That I have not done since high school sports. Like
stuff I've never done.
Yeah. Now, speaking of genetic freaks, I just saw Quint last week. I thought it was a current video, a current picture, but it wasn't. But he did post something current. I believe I saw somewhere, maybe on his YouTube. I think I saw a video. Okay, this is something. He started prep, obviously, right? Because he looks like he's leaner.
Yeah, he's doing New York.
I don't think you were supposed to say that, no?
Yeah, you weren't supposed to say that, bro.
Okay, cut it. Well,
Well,
there was a Nick Strength and Power video I saw that was like clipping clips from that YouTube video, and he was like, "I think the talk is that he's doing New York." So
Yeah, there was a
it's
talk.
just some grapevine shit. I don't know anything.
well, I mean, listen.
By all means,
You
cut that out. I'm
distracted that
sorry.
motherfucker real quick. Sorry.
No,
I thought that was common knowledge. Though.
I mean, it kind of on the HG podcast they don't say it, but they insinuate it. I think most people who follow bodybuilding like religiously probably know.
Yeah, well, you're gonna whip my ass or whatever.
But yeah, this guy. I mean, the sky's the limit, bro. He reminds me of an Andrew and Samson, but he actually gets in better condition than both of those guys, right? Would you guys agree?
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
And I could make the argument he has like the best of both worlds. He has the height of Andrew, the waist of Andrew, but the bubbliness of Samson as well. With more condition.
The best
Obviously,
part is he's like 27 years old.
yeah, they're literally over a decade older than him. So if Andrew and Samson are doing this good a decade later with almost the same genetics, what the fuck is this guy gonna do? That's good. We got to get him on the podcast.
Remember one time he lost to Joel Thomas? I had him winning that show.
Me
Yeah,
too.
that was
Me
Tampa,
too.
wasn't it?
At Toronto, I think.
Was it Toronto?
How did that happen? How did Joe?
It's
He was more
crazy.
muscular.
I don't know.
Well, Quentin
And
took a
shredded.
while to get his condition like it was in 2022, because in Tampa and Texas he was pretty damn hard.
Yeah.
But
Quentin was.
Yeah, Quentin was. In
Yeah.
previous years he wasn't quite that hard, but he's there.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, now that he works with Matt, I'm
Oh
ready
yeah.
to see how this one's gonna play out now.
He's gonna be hard with Matt. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Matt really
Yeah.
Matt don't miss.
No, that's facts. That's facts. All right, let's look up. I wanted to look at Carlos. I think Carlos was something. I like Carlos, man. I like that guy. He's one of the.
Oh, I knew Carlos from when before we were even a name.
Yeah.
He wasn't a Jersey guy, was he?
No, he lived in I believe he's from Delaware, and where I'm at in Jersey, Delaware was only like a 40-minute drive. So I used to see him at a gym I used to train at all the time.
Yeah, he's the Delaware guy. I think he's gonna be on next week. Next week sometime. I forget what day. But
The only
Carlos,
thing he needs is he needs to come in hard. His show it wasn't hard.
yeah, that's it. Like Zay said, you could get away with one body part not being superb as long as you have the muscle and you're in shape, right?
And
So like
he's got it.
yeah, like his back isn't gonna blow somebody away, but if he's shredded with that size and shape, listen, it's not gonna hold him back unless you're trying to win Mr. Olympia.
Well, I think I disagree a little bit, because he's big everywhere,
Mhm.
and I think back is like a very glaring weak point.
Mhm.
That when you turn to the back, if somebody literally overpowers you, it's going to hinder you. I'll use Samson as an example since I already got shit for this a long time ago. Samson's back is not exactly, I would say, a glaring weakness, but it is something that you go, oh, his back is down. But because of how everything around Samson is very powerful, his back isn't too far behind, where I personally think Carlos's back is more behind than all his other body parts.
I can see what you're saying.
think
I kind of want to
his
see a
back would
picture.
look way better if he was really hard.
It would, and I also don't think it helps that his lats sit higher as well.
A little bit.
Yeah. I kind of want to see a back picture just to.
But his front shots, it's it's incredible.
His back looks good. His lats look good from the front.
Yes.
This is a video. Oh, perfect. It's a video. I think. Okay, yeah. So let's see.
Yeah, watch. You'll see.
Boy,
From the
his quads,
front,
man.
He's got some nasty, and he's got good weight. He's got good
legs are
weight.
insane.
Yeah, but the waist comes in too.
Yeah,
I see some striations in the chest, man.
He just needs to be harder.
Yeah.
And remember, he's dealing with IBS.
The IBS,
IBS,
right?
right? Yeah.
He
And
said,
that's like, it's just, you think it was just like, your digestive tract, but it's going to
No,
cause
it's
systemic
everything.
inflammation that's just fucks with all kinds of stuff. So
And
Imagine-
I actually feel bad about that too, because that could really ruin everything.
yeah, man. I mean, his upper back got some good thickness. But you see, when your waist is that tiny, look how small his waist is. When your waist is that small, it's hard to have the illusion of having a thick lower back if you have no waist, It's a hard balance.
Well, being harder though would help a lot with all the details and shit going on at the bottom.
Yeah,
I think that would make up for it.
that's a nutty pose.
That's crazy.
That's even nuttier.
Yeah, having high lats give you like a smaller waist, like Dennis Wolf, Justin Shire, people like that. But then also it takes away from some of your back shots. Bumstead learned how to pose his back in a way that he shortens it and thickens it up. He rounds it out, and it works for him. And if people with highlights can learn to like pose it in a way like that, it could benefit a lot of people.
Well, also Carlos is still fresh. Carlos is fresh.
Facts.
He's only like 31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope, like Stu said, I hope the IBS doesn't always, to a degree, hold him back, and they can really, really get that under control. Because I think once they do, we'll be able to actually really, really see what Carlos, is truly capable of.
Facts. All right, y'all want to get into questions before Nick bounces?
Hey, what was the question you were telling me at the gym? You said you had one that you want to ask. Or that somebody asked you. Remember you when you were sitting down talking to me? Like, hey, I have a question that I want to ask.
Yeah. Oh no, that was the question about I think we were talking about like girls or some shit. What the fuck were we talking about?
I don't know. You looked at
like
me
different kinds of
I got
girls.
a question for you, but I want to be a surprise.
If it comes to me, I'll say it.
Okay.
But let me look at the questions.
Beatty likes Latinas, so he's been coming to our gym. He's gonna be coming more frequently. So Nick, I see a trend.
Don't put me on blast.
So feel free to come to Fit Nation.
Don't put me on blast, Joe. Right. Let's see. Did anybody get? Do you think dark sport is cringe?
Yes.
All right. Did you hear that?
I like dark sport.
Nick, you're gonna get yourself kicked off this goddamn podcast.
I think Gymshark's a little cringe, but
okay, I don't have a problem with Gymshark because let me explain. Okay, so Gymshark isn't trying to be something they're not. It's
how about
skimpy clothes for skinny little influencers. Young LA is like, again, it's weird little clothes for influencer types. Whatever.
How about Alphalete?
I like Young LA, bro.
They're not trying to be something they're not. Yeah, they're fine. But Dark Sport is pretending to be all fucking hardcore, like I'm gonna die for this shit, and all the people who wear their stuff, with the exception of like,
did you do that again?
They paid Andrew and like Dexter. They paid a couple of bodybuilders recently to like join their team, right? But like all of the people who wear their clothes are small, and like they're like part of a family and they're part of the pack. Like, you guys are just followers. Shut the fuck up. You don't do this for real.
I can
you don't like the branding.
I feel like with Young LA, Gymshark, and even Alphalete, they don't act like that. They
exactly. That's why I don't have a problem with it. Yeah. Like they're trying to be slick and sexy for young people in the gym who aren't serious bodybuilders. But Dark Sport is trying to like mimic and like parasitize the hardcore bodybuilding culture when none of their people who wear their shit are hardcore bodybuilders.
Don't use words I don't understand, Stu.
Parasitize.
Parasitize.
That was a good one, huh?
What the fuck?
No. I mean, basically, you don't like their branding. Like, I like some of their clothes.
I want to say some of the clothes look cool.
Yeah, but like
yeah.
their branding, you don't like the branding. Yeah,
But
I
they're
see what
the
you're saying.
identity that come, and that's what you're
That
buying
makes
into with
sense.
the clothing brand. It's an identity, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I wear Gap stuff and Get Better Body stuff because like they have a bunch of people on their like athlete roster who are like serious bodybuilders,
I know what
you
you
know,
mean.
and
Yeah,
I like that a lot more than like a bajillion men's physique guys and some classic dudes. And oh, you paid Kevin Lavroni a chunk of money, so he's going to promote your clothes now. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes the issue is the kind of people that wear your clothes, right? Like I like Young LA, I like their clothes. I just sometimes the people that wear their clothes or some of the people they sponsor, sometimes I don't really vibe with. But I don't care. I mean, I personally like their clothes on myself. You
Yeah,
know,
but they make like regular ass fashion clothes too,
they do.
right?
Yeah,
Like streetwear and stuff. Okay, so that's
they,
like I don't know the first thing about that. Whatever. I don't live in LA, but
yeah, different.
Well, that's what I like. That's why I like them in outfit. Like they have clothes you could like wear out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah, well,
Do
I
do you
wear
wear?
like this out.
Like if you go on a date or something, or you go out to a nice, but like you could wear Young LA, or you could wear outfit. You know, somewhere. You know what I mean?
Do you wear Alphalete, Nick? I never seen you in Alphalete.
I wear it all. I wear Young LA a little bit, a little outfit. I have it all.
Okay, okay.
I bet Nick's closet is so full of shit. Like the number of clothes he's got is probably insane.
Yeah, it's probably crazy right now.
Nothing
Would you?
fits me. I'm too fat now.
What? Don't hurt Joe's feelings, Nick. He
Joe,
don't.
You didn't hurt my feelings. I don't have feelings.
hey, Joe, I like your shirt.
Oh, I wore it specifically because you're on. I was waiting for you to say
Oh
something.
shit!
Good one. Good one.
I just
Hey,
caught that. It's
it's
funny.
Your favorite brand.
Dude, Nick sent me the funniest message the other day. He was like, "Who the fuck is Sam Sulek?"
Hey, in my defense, I bought this when you were part of it.
Oh, okay.
Acceptable.
Yeah,
Then.
it's different.
It's different.
That
It's a different
changed
era. Different era.
Damn. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
Hey Nick, have you heard about Crazy Wear? It's pretty good too.
Crazy.
Oh
wear?
yeah. Yeah, I like
Those
crazy.
are
Yeah.
old school. Like they've been around forever.
Where
You like
are they
it.
like? Where are they based out of? Here?
Out of
He's
LA.
in. The owner lives in. Doesn't the owner live in Louisiana? Well, he's from Louisiana. I don't know if he lives there, but like the brand is like popular here for sure. This is where the
Yeah.
brand
I
is.
know my
really?
time is fast, like really fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up and I'm gonna hit him up and tell him to send something to Nick. You're gonna like it. You're gonna
This
like
is
it.
like the old school shit. The
Baggy stuff.
baggy
The baggy
clothes that they
bodybuilding
would wear
pants.
in the 90s. Like
Oh,
they were
really?
actually around back then. Yeah.
I don't
yeah,
think
Nick-
you like the shirts though. I think you'll just like the pants. I don't like
Yeah,
the
he.
shirts.
Yeah, Nick. Do you see the pants that me, Joe, and Paul wear? Like the colorful. It's like the old school pants. You know, like the Ronnie Coleman.
Something from the 90s.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shit that Ronnie and them had on. All right. This is like a fitting question for this episode. Would you rather be huge but always fat, or small but always shredded?
I want to say
It's-
small.
I don't be fat.
I don't want to be
We
fat.
know.
I gotta be because it's not like you're fat with muscle. You're just fat. But
you're
like,
huge.
Well, is that the huge part? Muscle, right? Huge with huge.
I'll be
and fat.
small and carb up.
I
figured
don't
like
want to be
peak off
huge and
season.
fat.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm.
If I'm just
Especially when I'm
morbid,
done
no, fuck
bodybuilding,
that.
I want to be functional. That's for sure.
That's true.
Yeah, because you can't be a bodybuilder with either of these. So you have to look at regular life. You're gonna get a lot more girls if you're small and
Oh,
shredded.
that's true. And your wiener's bigger automatically.
Exactly.
That's so true. They don't tell you about that when you start bodybuilding, but that's so true, man.
Oh yeah, I don't have that issue, the wiener issue, but Stu, I'm sorry.
Your
for
legs
you,
are
Stu.
big enough.
Yeah, you're right, man. I need bigger legs.
Your big legs.
All right. Apart from bodybuilding, what are your occupations? Well, yeah, I already know. I'm a fentanyl wholesaler.
Bodybuilder.
Oh yeah, I mean full time. Yeah, you're full time bodybuilder. Do you coach? But do you coach
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't do it like
like a business?
hardcore. I like to have a certain amount of people, and then I just cap it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this probably is not the episode to ask this question because I don't think either of us have like a job. Zay, you got? Oh, I think Zay does. Zay works.
I run a nutrition store in Long Beach.
Don't you have like a private gym or something?
Yeah. Like
You
I'm
still
a personal trainer full time. Yeah.
you still have that spot?
Yeah.
That's a respectable
much.
occupation. Yeah, you know, private
Well,
gym
because it's all bodybuilding. You know what I mean? It's all
Yeah.
a piece.
But if you're
glued
getting
together.
jumped, you can't go to Zade's store.
Oh yeah.
Safe
remember that?
refuge.
I don't know if Nick saw that video, but these guys were like beating up some guy, and they ran into Zay's store. The guy ran in Zay's store, and Zay sees the guy and shoves him out the store and lets him get beat up, and just continues.
Lock the door.
Yeah, locks the door and just continues working like nothing happened. Like it's like, damn, bro.
And
this
meanwhile, the
guy's
guy's outside getting his ass whooped.
oh, he's getting
Jumps.
murdered out there. But I
These
mean, it's
California
not.
things.
I'll never
If I
forget
didn't
this.
do that, dude, they would have ran inside.
Yeah,
and
no,
trashed
fuck
the
that.
whole store.
And
Fuck
then you're
that,
not
yeah,
clean it all up. Just fuck that.
Yeah. There's no chance.
way.
But I mean,
No,
it was
my
kind of quick.
watch.
It was kind of quick thinking though. Just get the fuck out of here. I don't want to deal with it. Who else? Paul. What do you do, Paul?
What? What do I do?
Wait, what's your occupation out of bodybuilding?
What should I make up?
Transportation broker, and I deal with the freight.
Oh, you do like freight brokerage?
Yeah, I move freight.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought Paul was gonna be like, I'm an executive retail consultant.
I work for the CIA.
Yeah. I thought you were about to make some shit up. How about you, Joe?
How did you?
Joe is definitely an executive retail consultant specialist. That's what he does for.
Goes
I'm
a
an
sugar
astronaut.
baby.
I'm an astronaut.
And Stu is coaching full time and sponsored.
Yeah,
And-
but up
Oh,
until
there you
like 6 months ago, I was working in construction management, which is a boring job, but a good job for bodybuilding because you're on your ass all day and you can eat. So
Boring is good for bodybuilding.
there you go.
There is.
Ian said he get personal favorite, but recommended chief. Personal favorite bodybuilder of all time.
Tom Pritz.
I never actually thought about that. Oh, Jay, yeah, I forgot about. Yeah, Nick is. But you guys are like best friends now, right? Is that weird?
No.
It just feels normal now, right? It's just this is
Yeah.
my boy. That's dope, though. I think that's dope. You know. What did you say? You said somebody said Tom Prince?
Yeah, Tom Prince. I think his look at the 1996 USA's was like
Crazy.
unfucking believable. Like he didn't perform quite so well as a pro because he kind of got his gut a little too big, but I mean his shape and like his muscle bellies and stuff were just so impressive. I love the way he looked.
Yeah, Tom Prince. His hamstrings was fucking stupid. I mean,
Mhm.
he was pretty bubbly, bro. Yeah, he's pretty. I think he's underrated, actually. I should pull him up.
He
should
just
pull him
didn't look as good in his front double like after he got really big because his stomach was like out there and it kind of hurt his
Yeah.
muscles.
Yeah. What about Paul?
I always like Kai Green from when I was coming up. Kai Green was my favorite for a while.
Paul's a freak.
You guys look just
I
alike.
love the thickness, bro. I love all the muscle he carried.
You look just like Kai, Paul. I see the resemblance.
Do you like
who did I-
grapefruit?
Come on, Zay.
Damn it.
Paul loves grapefruit.
Sorry, I had to say it.
Let's go. Who didn't answer? Joe?
You're talking about like physique wise or just overall?
Man, I
Like
don't
what was
even
my
know,
favorite
bro.
physique or who was my favorite?
Your favorite
Physique.
bodybuilder.
Yeah,
My favorite
just.
physique was actually Lee Priest.
Oh, Lee Priest got a bro. Lee Priest got a hell of a physique. I'll tell you that right now.
Like when
Yeah.
I will never. I don't have a shape whatsoever. But I just the look. Like if I had to pick a look, that's what I would want to look like.
Yeah, Lee Priest was the first bodybuilder I ever saw, like, period, like in a magazine. I was like 9 years old, and I picked up one of my brother's magazines. At the time, I didn't know he was Lee Priest. I just saw a blonde guy with a Superman tattoo, right? And I'm like, wow, this is fucking impressive. And for some reason, I was like, I wanted to do it. I mean, at 9 years old, you don't fucking know what that means, but I'm like, I want to get big arms, you know?
Yeah, I want to look like that.
Yeah, you don't understand why you feel that way. You start looking at your arms and you're like, I think I want to do something like that. And then, eventually you start to get into it. Did Zayd go?
No, 09 Joy Cutler for sure.
Oh, 09 in particular, not Jay Cutler, but 09.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, obviously Jay Cutler is my favorite, but 09 in particular, I think like Jesus Christ. When you look at that thing, it's incredible.
I think
You know?
2001 because he was
The
more
shape?
young and handsome back then. Not that he's not
I
handsome,
agree
but
with
like
you. I like that look better.
very dashing. Like
Yeah, I think I prefer 01, even though 09 would probably beat 01 on stage. But like something about the way he looked in 01, I definitely, I like
you just
that
look
one.
like young and fresh, and I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. Well, Zayd and JJ are friends too, right? You friends with Jay yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want, we can ask him to come on the podcast if you like. I was just gonna say that on the text.
That's too much pressure, bro. I feel like we joke around too much. I don't.
Yeah, we'd
I
have
feel
to
like
be professional, man. There's like
that's hard. That's hard to do.
a certain
That's
bar
hard.
we can't stoop below.
We'll keep it clean that episode if it happens.
I would love to do it, but I feel like we're gonna be like so like uptight. We're gonna be like, hey Jay, how you doing? You know, I feel like it's gonna be
I
hard
would do
to.
myself.
Yeah, you could.
I don't give a fuck.
Did everybody
Jay,
go?
you like bitches? I love bitches.
Yo, you know what's funny?
You like Latinas too, bro. So
He does, yeah,
you'll
he
vibe
does.
with him.
You know what's funny? But Jay was on 50 Cent. He was on 50 Cent's channel before, and one of 50 Boys interviewed him, and he was like, "Jay, do you sell dope?" And Jay was like, "What?" He like, how do you have this house? Do you sell dope? He was like, "No, just bodybuilding, bro." And then he was like, "Oh, where the hoes at?" And Jay was like, "Oh, the hoes. Oh, we got the hoes. We got some."
Yeah, see?
I was
Just
dying,
imagining
bro.
him saying that his main accent.
but like Jay is cool though. Like I feel like Jay is like he's a little older, but he's kind of hip to it. He
No,
knows he knows what's
Jay's
going on.
Jay's dope as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Dude,
can tell.
he made peanut butter for dogs. That's dope as fuck.
That's next
Didn't
level.
know that, Joe. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did everybody go?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't go, right?
Oh, you did.
I'll take Nick didn't go.
I went.
Oh yeah, he said
Yeah,
Jay.
what do
He
you
said
say?
Jay.
I said Jay.
Oh, you did? Oh, I missed it. Fuck.
So we got two Jays, Kai Green, Tom Prince, and Lee Priest. Huh? That's a hard question, man. Like Joe said, are we talking? If we go for physiques, I gotta say Phil Heath.
I wanted to say Phil, but there was something about Lee Priest's waist that really
different.
made him stand out over Phil for me.
Yeah, I think I gotta say Phil. I like Flex too. Flex, Phil. If I gotta pick one, Phil. I think I'm gonna say Phil. That sounds like a too easy of an answer though. You're gonna pick the best bodybuilder, you know.
Well,
But Phil, huh?
that's normally what people want to look like, you know.
Yeah, good point.
Best
Yeah.
bodybuilder.
Yeah.
All right, let's do best and what are some of you guys' best and worst contest prep moments or memories?
Worst?
It just happened. Maybe the hamstring. Was that the worst?
Well, are we going on that or like the look of a show?
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Huh?
It's
Moments or
memory, right?
memories. It could be anything. Yeah, moments or memomories. It could be you got into a
Mine
fight
would
2 weeks
definitely
out.
be obviously this one, but North Americans 2017 as well.
What happened there?
I just
Should I
shot
pull?
too much, couldn't fill up, and I look like a string bean on stage.
I'm gonna have to pull that one off air. Pull that one up off air.
Oh, don't embarrass me, please.
All right. Let's go, Stu.
Oh, I mean, easy one's like 2017. I've told this story before when I was like listening to Tony Huge and like
Whoa.
just like taking all the drugs and doing lots of dumb shit. I look like crap on stage. But besides that, I don't know. I haven't really had any bad preps since then. Like,
Look at you.
yeah, I don't know. It's pretty smooth at this point. When I did the USA's, actually, I mean, I had just gotten down to Arizona. I just moved down there from Oregon. I didn't know anybody. I was like renting a room off this place on Craigslist. And this dude in his house. It was a really weird time in my life, but I kind of figured it out. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna go to the gym and see what happens, and it worked out. Fortunately.
There you go. What's the question? Shit, I forgot my own question. What the fuck did I
Worst
just ask?
prep stories.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right, let's go, Joe.
One that stands out to me was in 2022 when I was getting ready for the California. I worked a regular job, but it was heavily laborious. This is my very first show on enhancements. So I got to a level of body fat that I've never experienced before. And like, you know, with the AIs and everything, you kind of just the way you feel, you guys all know. And they call me right before work. My shift used to start at 5 in the morning. And I was already like, I couldn't sleep at night already. So I was already like only getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. And I would go into work. I had to drive. And when I got there, my truck was completely empty. And before I got there, they told me that my partner had to be pulled. So I had an assistant because my route was so big, the labor was so heavy. They said, Joe, you're going to have to run the route by yourself. And so I was going into work with that. And then when I went in, my truck was completely empty. And it was supposed to have like, it was a 26-footer truck. You can walk back and forth. So the rails were that long of clothes. And so it was completely empty. And I had to go find the clothes and put all the clothes worth on the truck, and nobody helped me load it.
Fuck that.
No and way. I was deathly feeling. And I was going to quit right then and there, but I was like, well, so Paul put money into this for me to work with Justin. And I was going to quit my job or quit the show. And I was like, well, fuck. If I quit the show, I can get through this shit and, you know, don't have to worry about the feeling. And I said, well, if I quit my job, I can't pay for the fucking show. So I fucking sucked it up. I fucking loaded my truck. I took off. I called my manager and told him, yo, dog, this is the last time I do this or I'm going to fucking quit. And they made sure it never happened again. But I literally, somehow that adrenaline, I got done with my day. I get 10 hours to do my day. I got it done in like 4 hours, all by myself. But I just took off home and he paid me for the day.
Damn.
And it never happened again.
That don't sound too fun.
Bro, that was the hardest shit I ever did.
I don't think I would have done it. I think I would have walked out. I mean,
I remember I told you guys I broke down and cried 4 weeks out on the way to the gym because I didn't know how I was going to do it. It was because of shit like that. Because my route was new, and it was like they were having me do these really big projects, and I was handling really high volume like accounts. They're paying like for uniforms, bro, like $10,000 a month for uniforms, and I had to manage and maintain those accounts as well as do the labor. So I had to deal with all that shit when I was getting ready for that show.
I'm like a work snob. Like if anything upsets me at work, like when I used to work 9 to 5, I would walk out. I would walk out the door.
Bro, my manager literally told me that people were complaining because I was walking through the building without a smile on my face. I was like, you fucking kidding me, dog? My face is like sunken in. I'm pale as shit. I was like, you think I want to fucking smile right now?
There's no way. Who didn't go? Paul, did you go?
Mine would have to be my first show of 2018. In
You
6
lost like
months, I dropped like in 6 months, I dropped like 90 pounds to get on stage.
yikes.
And man, that was the worst fucking feeling I've ever felt in my life, bro. Like, I remember walking around, my days were hazy. I couldn't walk barefoot because my feet were so skinny, like it hurt to walk barefoot.
Yeah. 90
Fucking hammer
pounds.
straight. I couldn't hammer straight more than a plate for like 8 reps. Man, I was just depleted, over dieted, felt like shit. Got on stage. I did obviously novice and the open. When it came to posing for the open, they pulled me off. I couldn't even hold poses. Like, I
Oh,
was fucking so unhealthy at that point.
yikes.
I almost never competed again after that. Then I never wanted to feel that torture again.
Fuck that. Holy shit.
It was bad. It was bad.
All right, let's did Zay go?
No. What was the question? Is in the worst moment during prep?
Yeah, worst. Oh, it said best and worst moment, but we just did worst.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the best moment since Nick is here. So when I won the USA's, I was basically I knew that I won before the rewards happened because the coordinator told me, "Hey, I want you to stand behind Nick," and I knew that Wolfpack, which sponsors Nick or the representative of the first place award, is going to be sponsored. I'm not sponsoring, but giving out the award for the first place finisher. So basically, the coordinator told me I won before the awards were, on stage. So
I kind of told you that.
Huh?
I kind of told you that the light heavy
Yeah,
there wasn't even
but
close.
dude, I lost so many times. It's never guaranteed, right? I lost so
Facts.
many times until he told me stand behind Nick. When you see Nick go on, you go behind him. This is when I knew I won my pro card. So I had
Yeah.
my biggest moment backstage on my own. I was so fucking happy. But for the worst moment, a week out from USA's, dude, I was completely dead. As you've seen, my conditioning was really good. And I was dead. I was literally dead. No fat and fat free and everything. I had one carb meal that day. And I live 2 hours away from the gym. So it was beef and rice. And I went to the microwave in Gold's Venice. I heat up my meal and I take it out of the microwave and it fucking falls down on the fucking floor. And it's beef and rice. Dude, that moment, because I had to go to work and then go home. So if it was the only meal left for the day and the only meal that had carbs, and I haven't eaten carbs for like 2 weeks straight, and I was already fat free. And I was like, I did 2 hours on the stairs. I trained with Doug for 2 hours. I posed for an hour. I was completely fucking zombie mode. So guess what I did? I kneeled down.
Please don't say it. Please don't say it.
I picked up every crumb of rice, every crumb of beef, and I put it back in the fucking Tupperware and I ate it. And you remember, like, this gym has dogs in there, man, walking back and forth. And literally, I ate that fucking crappy meal, and I said to God, if this doesn't give me my pro status this time, I swear to God, I'm gonna quit. I swear to God, this is it. If I'm not winning, I'm quitting. Yeah. And a week later, I turned pro.
Hey, like they say, do whatever it takes, right?
I mean, listen.
Exactly. But listen, beef and rice, they're so crumbly. So if it falls on the ground, like it's not a piece of steak.
Yeah, you need
have
a broom.
to let this shit. And let me tell you, I have OCD. I really have OCD with food. I have to finish every little bite. I don't leave rice in my Tupperware. I don't leave nothing. Like I can flip the Tupperware and it'll be clean.
You won't want that no more.
I mean, listen.
I ate it like a champion.
At 2 weeks out, what else do you do? You have no other choice. You're not about to go to Chipotle, so you have no choice. That's the only unless it. Oh, you see, maybe if you go to Dragon's Lair and you have like I think they got flex meals or something like that. Maybe you could do that, but even then, most of us probably don't even want to do that.
The only thing, you should see my friend's face when he see me eat it. He was like, "You're fucking crazy. You're gonna get sick. You don't know how many germs are on the floor. Dogs are in here, shitting on the fucking floor."
Yeah. Okay. Let's do one more. You good on time, Nick?
No, I'm gonna bounce.
Yeah.
Gotta get ready for my massage.
All right. Bounce then, Nick. Get out of here.
right.
Thank you. Thank you for
Nick.
coming
Peace
on.
out, man.
Hey, Nick.
Thank you for coming on, bro.
Of course, we'll have to do this again.
Yeah,
Sure.
for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
All right, bye guys.
But
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Oh shit! I was about to end the whole podcast. Hold it. I almost clicked end the meeting for all. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? All right, we got some more. So we could do a couple more questions then,
yeah.
unless anybody else needs to bounce. Everybody good?
Dude, I
Yeah.
just gotta say, like, when you guys tell stories from prep, it makes me feel like such a pussy nowadays. Because, like, I haven't had to do shit like that in a while, like ever, really. And man, sad.
That prep, I promised if I was going to do the bodybuilding thing, I will never work that job again. And I left.
Possible.
I ended up leaving because I knew I had to choose between that job or bodybuilding because there was no fucking way. There was no way I could do it again.
To be honest, bro, every single show I've done besides maybe this last USA in the Cal, I guess. Okay, let's say until like 2021. Every show I've done, I've always said this is gonna be my last show. Because like what I have to do to get in shape, it's so miserable. I'm like, well, why am I doing this shit? But then right after prep, you're like, of course I'm doing this shit again, you know? Every single time. Because I'll get to like 2 weeks out, not even, sometimes like 6 weeks out, and I can't physically work. I can't train clients. I can't make money. And my bank account is going down. I'm like, okay, I got to push it on my credit card now. Then I'm like, this is stupid. Why the fuck am I doing? Like, what's the point of this, right? And then once the show is over, I'm like, you know what, bro? Because one or two things are gonna happen. You're gonna win, and you're gonna be motivated, or you're gonna get your ass beat, and then you're gonna be like, I can't just get my ass beat like that. So I got to do something. You know? So it's like there's no. What's the alternative? You get first, you're like, oh fuck, now I have to go to the next level. You get second, you're like, I can't let this guy beat me like that. If you get last place, you're like, there's no way I'm gonna be leaving as a last place, so there's no scenario where you're like, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? So it's like at this point I don't feel like that anymore, but at that point I'm like, why am I doing this? In the same,
You gotta keep
I had a moment like that too. I'm 22 went to North Americans, maybe like a week or two out. Remember driving down the freeway with my girl at the time, and I told her, I said, you know what, man? I go, I don't give a fuck if I win. I don't give a fuck if I'm in last place. Whatever happens, I'm done with this shit. I can't deal with it no more.
facts, bro.
Lo and behold, I got my pro card and I'm still here doing it. But I think we all go through that. You know what I mean? We all have
I think so.
that moment where you're feeling like shit, like fuck this. Why am I doing it? You know?
I really want people to understand this because anytime we get clients and people have this idea in their head, and I can tell that they have no idea what they're getting themselves into, like, I have no issue getting shredded. And I'm like, you've never been shredded. You don't know what that
there
means
before, yeah.
And they'll send you a picture.
It's not even like the low food at that point. It's just like the low body fat, and to some extent, the drugs that you're on, you just feel awful, and your hormones, like you have like
your body's fighting you.
It's like it is. You shouldn't be like that ever, really. But we do it every year.
I think you will probably feel better emotionally, probably even physically, if you were natural. I think your hormones will still be out of whack.
Yeah,
your sex drive will still be fucked up. Your blood work might still be fucked up, but like you're not gonna feel as lethargic. Like if you're not on AIs,
Yeah, those kill you. Those, yeah. Bro. Fuck.
Exactly, exactly. So when you do that, I think we feel worse. Even though people probably think it's easy. Oh, if I took gear, it would be easy. But it's like,
no, it enables you to push harder and do more damage to yourself.
Facts, all facts. All right,
baby, you can't quit though, because listen, you gotta get pro card, and then we're gonna get this whole fucking podcast and compete at the same show, and we're all gonna be on stage together.
That honestly is
not pro.
Airbnb, they get a boys weekend, dude. That would be so fun.
We'll do so much fentanyl, it's gonna be disgusting.
That'd be So this is gonna be my last year going about it the right way. If I don't get it this year, see me at the damn amateur. I'm gonna do the Masters, Amateur, Olympia, and fucking Zimbabwe.
You You can always do the women's USAs.
Hey, when it after this year, there's no more pride. I'm just I'm gonna go wherever I'm wanted. Whoever wants to give me a pro card, I'm going there, bro.
We should all do the Legion eventually. Because
That'd be
I
dope,
would
yeah.
love to do Legions.
there's
I really
Masters
would.
there too. Paul, you
Yeah.
did Masters there, right?
I did last year, yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
do
It was
the
such a
I
great
love
show.
that show. It was done up really good.
I've heard
Everybody
that
says
Rotor
that.
does a great job. He runs the Tahoe show as well, which I've heard is a very good amateur show. So,
Yeah.
and it's like driving distance from you guys, right? Is it
No,
Reno?
it's about 8 hours driving.
Oh,
I mean,
fuck.
you could drive, but holy shit, it's a
Road trip.
hell of a
The only thing I didn't like about Legions was the pump up area was so fucking small that like literally you're like a sardine, bro. Like it was pretty packed in the back.
Do they have
I-
amateur show attached to it as well?
They did.
Okay,
Really? Do they?
that's good.
Yeah,
For the
Usually-
Masters, they did. For the Masters, so what they did with the Masters was the NPC came out, did all their classes, whatever, and then at the end of that, then the Masters bodybuilding will come out. So at the end of every class, the Masters will come out.
Do they have open amateur?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't know that. I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
Well, if you got to
that's kinda dope.
requalify, I mean,
Just drive 8 hours and go requalify.
Actually, you don't have to qualify. You got your
No, I don't.
first
No,
place in super heavies, right?
yeah, you got fourth, right?
I don't have to know. I don't have to qualify. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then
No one checks anyway, to be honest, bro. No one checks.
yo,
Hey, for
like
real, we don't.
I don't want to put anybody on blast, but there was a year. What year was this? Maybe 2020. What's that guy's name who tore his chest working out with Larry Wills?
What's his name? I
Uh,
forgot.
the white guy, right?
the English guy.
Yeah. What's his name? Do you remember? Well, it's probably better we don't say his name. But so I'm at the USA and I see him backstage. I'm like, wait, this guy is not American. How is he doing the USA? First of all, then I'm like, when did he qualify? He don't even live here. How did he qualify? You know what I'm saying? And then he got like fourth, maybe third, wherever he got. But I was thinking, but then I was like, dude, don't you have to be American to do the USAs? Then I was like, where did he go?
Yep.
I was doing the math in my head. I was like, you know what? It's
The dude's an influencer, isn't he?
Yeah.
well, he is now.
Yeah,
He
Ryan
must have a lot
Crowley.
of money.
Ryan Crowley.
Yeah,
that's
but-
his name.
But at the time, he wasn't popular at the time, right?
I believe he was.
What year?
Oh yeah. Well, it was before. I feel like after he tore his chest, his following like tripled. You know,
maybe,
but
yeah.
this was 2020. I want to say this was when Chris won. Chris Too Swole, the last black Mr. USA winner.
Hey, Stu, we were training back, and I was like, yo, Beatty, come on, this is for you, Mr. USA. We
Do
haven't
it
had
for
a black
blacks.
one since 2020. This isn't about you no more. This is about your culture.
You gotta get somebody in there. It's been 4 years. 4 years. It's about to be year number 4.
It's actually
Before-
crazy though. Like they're all doing classic. That must be what's happening.
But also, when it comes to overall, the condition, like a lot of black guys have really good shape, really good roundness, but then the white guys get the really crazy condition, right? It's like when what's Compton's guy that won the nationals and he beat Bundy.
Jonathan Withers.
Yeah.
Jonathan Withers. So like Bundy is so much taller and bigger and wider, but you turn around and bro, Jonathan's glutes, bro, that shit was so insane. Everybody like exhaled when he turned around. Everybody went, "Oh." Well, first of all, his quads are crazy, but when he turned around, his glutes were so peeled. Everybody kind of like gasped and went silent. And he won because he was so peeled. Granted, Bundy is has a better physique if you look at, all the body parts. But you have to be, when you're that peeled, bro, you're going to beat a lot of guys, right? So I think the white guys usually win the overalls because of the condition, the hardness, right? Now if the black guys are able to bring Nick and Derek and Hadi level condition, then that's when you get a Ronnie Coleman. But for whatever reason, you know, black guys don't look that dry. Even if they're lean, they don't look as dry. So you got to figure it out, you know.
I gotta say though, for the USAs, they check if you are a U.S. citizen or not because they had me send my naturalization papers, but they don't check if you're qualified.
Oh, but it's like nobody wants to take the risk to just try to sneak in there, you know, like, oh, let me sneak in. I mean, but you're probably not good enough anyway if you're not qualified, you know. I don't know. But they didn't check for Ryan unless Ryan had a meeting with them. I don't know what the fuck goes on.
He knows a guy. That's all it takes.
I think I want to say I think Boston mentioned that. I think Boston mentioned on the podcast. Like, wait, how did that? But we're not gonna get into that. Be careful.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful. All right. How do you approach? Huh? How would you approach a girl at the gym?
Don't approach a girl in the gym.
Don't ask me.
Has anybody here ever, you know, got a girl from the? I kind of figured you was gonna say that.
Yeah, I went up to her. I was like, when I first became a trainer there, I said, "Yo, I've trained everybody in here. When am I gonna get to train you?" And that's where I started.
That's
I like that one.
You're slicker than shit.
I like that one. I like that one. That's a good one.
I was running train at the time. I was like,
hey, man, that trend, like girls can smell they can smell the trend on you. It makes you so masculine, bro. They're like, oh, look at this motherfucker. You just walk in, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole different swag you got about you when you're on that trend, bro. It's different.
Yeah.
How about Paul? You be approaching girls? You don't approach them at the gym?
Not even. Nope.
So if you're in the gym, and you see something you like, you just stare at it for a while, or
get my dog looking at it.
or you
in the background.
Basically, what I was doing to Paul the whole time I was finished, like I'm like, hey Paul, look, and Paul's like,
no, honestly, dude, nowadays I don't want to end up on a TikTok video.
Paul walks into Fit Nation, and then whatever the girl's name is, say it's he'll say it's Cat. Damn, Cat.
Oh yeah, that's what he does.
Damn. Works every time.
But by then, a friendship's was already built. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. I feel like most of us at the gym, we just tap our boys like, hey, look.
Yeah, you know.
And most guys don't actually go up to girls like, probably best I don't put my business out there. Let's go, Zane.
To be honest with you, bro, I don't approach girls in the gym at all. Zero. Because number one, I feel like I have to fucking work out. Why am I looking at this bitch?
Wait, how'd you get Jackie?
I was thinking the same thing. You didn't talk to her in the gym?
No, not at all. We met when she was supporting a friend. When I did a show, she came with her friend, and that's how we met. And then on Instagram. But like I said, also, dude, one thing that scares me the most, also, I don't want to end up on a fucking TikTok videos. These bitches will fucking do anything to make you look like a pervert.
You gotta scan for cameras.
The last thing I want is being on Joey Swole's page and stuff like that. You know, I don't want to be like this. I don't. Yeah.
Be better,
yeah.
Training at Zoo Culture, I'm always in the background of somebody's video. Every single video, I'm like, that's me in the background. Yeah, or somebody will send me a video, but hey, is that you in this guy's video? I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that guy is, but yeah, that's me.
Dude, I'm the opposite. I see a hot chick, I go the other way. Because
But he acknowledges that she's hot first.
Yeah, they're haram. It's haram.
Oh yeah, you're right. Haram all day. You can't do that. How about you, Stu? You got the juice?
Well, my girlfriend, like, that was a DM thing, but I don't know, dude. Like, I'm torn on this because, like, any girl that I'd be interested in the gym, theoretically, obviously I have a girlfriend, so it doesn't matter. But like, they'd be like about their
disclaimer.
Like, they'd be about their business training. You know, like I'm not even going to respect you as a woman if you're not like training hard. You know, so like I see that I'm like, oh, that's hot, but I don't want to interrupt that. So I'm torn. I don't. It's catch-22. So I mean, what ends up happening is I never talk to women in the gym.
Oh man,
That solves itself.
It's like there's phases for me. I met my ex at the gym, but generally I don't, because at the gym people look at me as like the how do you say that, like I don't know, like the guy you ask questions, right? So a lot of girls talk to me, but more in like a look up to me for knowledge kind of way. Like, hey, what do you think I should do for this and that, right? So you almost don't want to abuse that power. Not that it's power, but you don't want to abuse. You don't want to be in a position where you feel like you're abusing it, because these are young girls asking you, like, So sometimes I don't want to flirt with girls in that kind of way, depending on how it is. But I have no issue talking to girls at the gym. That's where I feel my most comfortable. But I don't believe the gym is a place where you go for the kill. It's not a bar. They're not out here to party and be picked up. So I'm not gonna be like, hey, let me get your number. I don't think that's appropriate. Now, you're gonna see this girl at the gym the same time almost every day. So just talk to her like a friend. So, people don't like the friend zone, but in the gym, that's a perfect place to just make friends and then go from there. So you just become friends with all the girls at the gym, like, hey, how many sets you got left? Oh, I got 3 sets. Oh, yeah, that's a great machine, right? Don't you like that hip thrust? Oh, yeah, I love it. That's my favorite machine, You come back around, you done? Oh, thank you so much. What's your name? Oh, my name is Jessica. Oh, nice to meet you, Jessica. I'll see you next time.
I like that hip thrust. You should try me.
You know how it goes. And then you see Jessica. You see Jessica tomorrow, and she's like, "Hey, what's up, Beatty? What's your name again? How you pronounce it? Oh, it's Beatty. This, that. You give her a hug, and then next thing you know, you got her Instagram. You got her number, and then you don't have to be like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, let me get your number." Like that's not. It's not a club, you know what I'm saying? But if you do it the right way, you could have all these girls' numbers at the gym. Just play slick.
So what he just said, Jalissa already made small talk with me, so I already kind of knew of her. It wasn't like she was. This is the very first conversation I ever had.
Yeah. So that's how you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So if you do it that way, you shouldn't have an issue. Don't try to mac like you're in the gym.
So answer the question.
Step is to be.
So to answer the question, Beatty doesn't walk up to girls. Girls walk up to him.
Yeah,
to a point.
They can smell it on.
Yeah, they're like BBC.
Like low key, there's so much I want to say.
You got the fetish factor.
I don't think I will too.
Yeah,
I was just talking to Joe about that at the gym. Sometimes it works in your favor, and sometimes it's harder to get good girlfriends, right? Based off of like fetishes and like just trying shit out. But you can get some ass, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Dude,
but also,
huh?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, when I grew up in Syria, gyms are only men, so I'm used to that. When I was growing up, there's no women.
Hey man, if you want to focus, that's the way to go. When I'm really close to the show, I go to a gym that there's nobody at, because I don't know about you guys, but if I'm 2 weeks out and this guy at the gym is like, hey bro, look at that, I'm like, bro, get the fuck away from me. I'm not looking at anything. Get the fuck. At that point, bro, I have no feelings. I don't at that point. Yeah, I don't look at a girl and be like, oh yeah. I don't even notice them, And then right after the prep, I'm like, "Well, did she always look like that? I didn't realize she had all that." You know what I'm saying? But at that point, I could care less. I don't care if fucking Rihanna is twerking at the gym. I don't give a fuck. Actually, that actually happened. Well, not Rihanna, but like,
I was like, oh yeah,
not Rihanna twerking.
Yeah.
But I was like 4 weeks out, and Blueface was at Zoo Culture with like 20 girls like filming a video, and they're all twerking and shit and smiling at us and shit. And at that point, I'm like, get the fuck off the bench. I'm trying to work out. Like I had no desire. I didn't want to. And to be honest, the kind of girls Blueface is into, They're not my cup of tea. Those are not women. Those are fucking. I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm looking at.
Yeah, different boat.
Probably from the Bronx.
Wrong boat. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
wrong boat.
Listen, I'm from the Bronx, so I don't want to shit on girls from the Bronx, but shit is it's a different culture in the Bronx. Let's say that.
Yeah, that's culture. That's a word for it.
Just imagine dating Cardi B. That's what life is like in the Bronx.
Ah. Yeah, I mean, the first step is obviously to be like the biggest guy in the gym, because
Yeah, that helps a lot.
that's gonna help the most. And then, at that point, nobody wants to talk to you anyways because you're scary looking. And
I was
maybe
I
that's
was
not
talking
good
about.
advice.
That's why you gotta do stupid shit in between sets. It makes you approachable.
That's true. Yeah, you
I'm
want to
not
look
even kidding.
approachable.
Me and Paul do the stupidest shit. We're like, oh, those guys are all right.
Yeah,
Fucking dancing in between sets and shit.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
with my crazy wear pants on.
I was gonna say, I forgot. I was gonna make a point. Yeah, but also, okay, so woman can care less if you're a 300-pound bodybuilder, but what women respect is a man who gets respect from his peers. So you walk in the gym and all the guys are like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing, bro? How you doing, bro?" They're looking at that like, "Oh shit, okay. Oh, who's this guy?" That
That's
turns
right,
them on.
yeah.
And even the girls are like, "Hey, how you doing?" Hey, they're like, "Oh, this guy." Everybody respects him so much because you're the big guy at the gym, right? So it's not necessarily they're like, "Oh, this guy is so sexy because he's 300 pounds." It's more so like, wow, everybody respects this guy so much, like he must be like a good guy or I don't know, special. That all that kind of shit, they're into that kind of shit. So that's always
Yeah.
a plus, because we don't think we're sexy by any means, but
And I don't
No,
think
no.
girls like the
A
biggest
lot of
guys.
300
honestly.
pounds.
yeah, exactly. What you say, Zay?
I said I don't think like girls like the biggest guy in the gym necessarily.
Hell no, hell. Well, not because he's big. It would be for other reasons,
It's
right?
a status symbol,
Yeah,
It's like a social hierarchy kind of thing.
Yeah.
exactly. And girls can
What
trick
the fuck would I
themselves.
know? I never was the biggest guy in the gym.
I'm not
You're
saying
about
this
to be.
works by any means. I'm just saying it's
Yeah,
like the route I've taken.
don't try it. Don't try it and think you're about to get all kind of girls because you're big. All right, let's do one more question. It's been about like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I should ask this with Nick on because Nick is he's a TV guy. He has a lot of shows and movies he watches, and I would love to get some new ideas. But what's your guys' favorite TV shows that you've been watching like recently?
Oh shit.
You see,
I'm
that's
a movie guy. I prefer watching a bunch of movies.
let's go movies then. I'm open to all that.
Like you like scary movies? What genre do you prefer?
Depending on the mood and the vibe, I'm down for whatever. Throw it at me.
I was telling Paul about that basketball movie that Adam Sandler's in. It's called Hustle. It's a really good movie.
Let's go. What?
Hustle.
Yeah. I'm gonna write it down, but that I don't know if that's up my alley. What else you got for me, Joe? Throw them at me. Let it come back to you. What you got for me?
Movies? Cobweb's really pretty decent.
Cobweb. Let me write that down. All right. Let's go, Paul. Throw something at me, Paul. What you got for me?
I mean, what haven't I fucking watched?
It's hard to remember, right?
Yeah, it is. Lioness. I think on Lioness on
No, I never watched that.
Lioness on Prime Video is pretty good.
Okay, let me.
Jack Reacher on Prime Video is pretty good. It's just called Reacher. It's called Reacher.
The show, right?
Yeah.
Is it really good?
It's good, bro. It's the second season. Second season just started. Of course, we talked about this. All the powers, the powers that are out.
Yeah.
I think the Canaan one is out right now.
Yeah, I started it. I couldn't get into it, but I got to give it more time because the other one was so good though. The original spinoff. What's that one called? The one with Tariq. I forget.
I think it was just Power. It was just regular Power.
Well, that one is really
Yeah.
good. All right, those are good ones.
You know what? There's a show that's on. I think it's on Hulu. It's called Snow. That's a
Snow?
good one. Yeah.
Is that
Is
cocaine?
it about drugs?
Cocaine started in LA.
But it's not Snowfall.
It's Snowfall. There you go. That one.
I did see Snowfall. I watched Snowfall. It was good. No, it was good. Yeah, it go back to the 80s.
Mike Singletary was the director of that one. So I mean, you knew it had to be good.
That was good. No, that was good. That show, and I feel like it got better. Like it kept getting better every season. Yeah. That was a good one. All right, Stu, do you watch TV, Stu?
I don't really watch TV. Sometimes I'll very rarely I'll pick something to binge watch, but yeah, I just don't really have the time to put towards it. But I like movie wise, I really like Christopher Nolan. If you know, he did Inception, he did what's that? Fuck, I forget the name of it.
Did he do Interstellar?
Yes, Interstellar. He did the Dark Knight trilogy.
The Black Knight.
The Suge Knight trilogy. Yeah, because he does such a good job of obviously he's got Hans Zimmer doing the score, and then I don't know, it's a lot of his plots are really mind bending and stuff, and the cinematography and everything is super good. Also, I forget his first name. It's something Villeneuve. He did Dune. You know they made a new Dune movie.
To watch that.
Oh, yeah, that one is good. Dune.
Yeah, it's incredibly good.
The second one's coming out pretty soon too.
Yeah,
it is.
And then he also did Blade Runner
2024.
Yeah, 2049 or something, whatever.
Good.
And he does a really good job of doing big cinematic panoramic shots and the camera work and the ambiance that he does is really good. I'm kind of snobby with movies. I hate the Avengers series, for example. Just commodity movies they put out to make money at the box office. I couldn't care less. But when a really good director makes a really good movie, it's oh shit, that was an experience.
Stu knows the director's names. He knows the style of cinematography they
I'm
do.
I'm not a film snob, but I'm snobby with the movies I watch. I'm not gonna watch lowbrow bullshit just to kill time.
Dude's the kind of guy you want to ask what kind of porn website he watches.
Yeah, because
quality of that.
That's gonna be some quality fucking porn. Have you ever heard of this director?
Podcast.
Pornography is poison, and you shouldn't watch it.
You should come to buy, bro, because it's there's no porn here.
I might.
Yeah, but
I gotta be honest. I definitely cut way back on porn to the point that I don't want to say I don't watch it at all, but I can't remember the last time I watched it.
I watch it once a day minimum.
Really? Honestly, I think
right hand to God, I don't watch it at all anymore.
No,
anymore. Yeah,
I haven't watched it in fucking 4 years. Some shit. It's a long time.
As you get older, it's one thing. If you're obviously you're a teenager, early 20s, I think it's perfectly fine. Fucking jerk off all day long, right? But as you get older,
those are formative years.
Yeah.
You should not do that.
It's more
it creates this illusion in your brain where it's you have all of the most beautiful hot women at your fingertips at the click of a button,
Yeah.
And it's not real. And it desensitizes you to what 100%. Real sex is like.
It does.
And so there's a lot of kids nowadays who watch a shitload of porn and their dicks don't work. This is a systemic problem. It's not good.
They have zero sex.
It's not good.
It's really not good.
It's not good at all. And then even looking back to my early 20s, like you said, you're kind of desensitized. It's I'll look back to some of my old pictures and some of these girls that I've dated, and I'm like, yo, these were pretty good looking woman for me. I shouldn't be able to get that kind of woman, but I didn't feel that way at the time because you're so busy jerking off all the time that you're like, I don't give a fuck, you know, like I'll just jerk off. I'm not gonna text her. I'll just it's late. I'll jerk off. You know, I think it creates like a really bad relationship with sex. A
Yeah,
really
with
bad
sex, and
relationship.
it will also ruin your like actual relationships.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's
think so.
because like the reason I don't watch porn anymore is because I don't have to. Because like,
Yeah.
you know, sex life is good, you know. And I don't want to go into details, it's not like everybody's business, but it's like
Go
if
into
your
detail.
needs are
But
being
it makes
met,
perfect sense.
if your needs are
Yeah.
being met like in real life, then fuck all that, you
Yeah.
know?
That's all
Yeah,
facts. Yeah, because you should
that's
only
right.
be watching porn to fill in the blank, right? If you've been single for a year, if you've been single for a year, maybe you should get on a dating app or something. I don't know, you know,
Honorable mention
or
though
uh-huh.
that not too many, not like all of us can pull girls, right? But not every man can, dude. So it keeps
Uh-huh.
away some men from rape. Think about it this way, dude. Not all of us, not excluding us, but not all men can have girls. Let's just be honest. Some people will never be able to pull girls to sleep with them. End of story. So they resort to porn to not fucking rape. That's a fucking
Uh,
scenario you have to consider. So in
if
this
you
light,
I
this
think that's
is
a fair argument, yeah. You just
if
got
you
this
got
yeah,
totally
dude.
demonetized, by
Because
the
you're
way,
good
but
looking, you're a bodybuilder, you can get girls. Most
well,
men don't do
good
that.
looking is the overstatement, but if you had to
yeah.
choose between you gotta choose between porn and rape, I would err to the side of porn over the
And
rape.
also
Exactly.
like I don't want to talk about this anymore. This is weird.
Asking you, what was your
Okay,
favorite movie?
I feel like I'm jacking off with my friends.
Yeah,
what
before we
what
get to this, you think I get? You think I'm a porn connoisseur?
what
Asshole.
what I do believe is that you can't say every man, but I feel like almost every man should be able to get a girl. Now, the quality of the girl is going to vary. You might have to go, you know, instead of going for the sevens and eights, you might have to, you know, try some of the fours.
Yeah, but
See what the fours are talking
if
about.
you're a four as a dude, right, and you get a four as a wife, like maybe she's really fucking good at cooking, dude, and you won
Yeah.
out. And like, guess what? If you go and watch a bunch of porn, you're never going to be able to like bond with your significant other because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, she's not as hot as those girls on the internet. Of course not. Like, that's not real life.
Yeah.
That's not even real.
I,
But still,
I got
I
to be
know
honest, man.
guys, they can't pull a four. They
Yeah,
can't even
okay,
pull a
so if we're
four.
talking like
Yeah.
bottom fifth percentile or something,
I
you
thought
know.
Zane said I can't pull a four. It's impossible.
Well,
Then we'll talk to
what
me.
I don't think Zayde is talking about looks, right? You're talking about some people they don't know how to talk. Like they can't talk to a
Yeah.
girl, right? Yeah, they're like frightened and shit.
Awkward. Yeah.
Now when it comes to that, I think you need to you need to go to like a specialist, not like in that kind of way. But like
Specialist. Fucking hitch. Fucking hitch.
yeah, you got to see one because it works. I saw on RX Muscle, this one guy is talking about like, yeah, I lost my virginity at 30, but like now he's taking out all types of bitches. Now we don't know how valid these these
Miracle
what he's
stories
saying
are.
is. Yeah, but I kind of believe him because a lot of things he's saying it was true. Like he's making some valid points, like things that actually do work in real life because I've done it, you know. So I kind of believe him. So if you can go from not losing your virginity to 30 and now you're getting all kind of ass, it's possible. You have to be willing to learn, like everything else, right? You might
It's
be a
gonna
bad
take
body.
work. Like if you're ugly, like speaking as an ugly dude, you know,
Uh-huh.
if you're ugly, like you're gonna have to excel in other ways. You're gonna have to like make a lot of money or be like really good at ping pong or really good at bodybuilding or I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
You're like,
No,
You're
like,
not
fine,
ugly,
fine.
man. Don't say that shit. You're
Yeah,
not
you're not
ugly at
ugly.
all.
You're not ugly, Sue.
okay,
What the
Yeah,
fuck,
that's not the
man?
point.
No,
That's
I
not the
get it. It's a
point.
You're
joke, but it's not
fucking
true.
gorgeous.
yeah, yeah.
That's boys.
Stu,
Calm
Stu,
down.
hey, Stu. If I was a girl and I was a four, I think I would date you. I
Yeah.
would date you if I was a four.
Thanks,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah,
Bro, those curly locks, I'd twist them.
yeah.
I
Come on,
think
man. Come
okay,
on.
listen, I think the hair takes me from like a 4 to a 5.5, maybe.
No, you're like a
Yeah.
It's still
7 with that
short.
shit.
It's still short, but
I imagine you riding
uh,
on a horse with your little hair.
Poor horse. Oh my god.
There's no coincidence that the richest guys I know in LA they're all short, right? They're all like 5'5", because
they
they're
made
like
that money out of spite, bro.
exactly, because they're like, oh, y'all bitches, yeah, they're like, oh, y'all bitches don't fuck with me. Keep watching, bitch. I'm gonna show you something. Yeah, and then like look at Greg Doucette. With no offense, but like he got,
Fuck.
Shit.
But whoa,
You're about to get a DM for that one.
Yep. He's gonna be on the podcast.
Greg
He's gonna make
actually,
a video of you, bro.
Greg actually follows me. He follows me on Instagram. But one thing that Greg actually he takes as well as he gives. Pause. But he does take as well as he gives. So he doesn't get he don't get offended at all. There was a time where me and Eric were going back and forth with him, but he was cool about it. I haven't seen him in person.
He's got to have such thick skin at this point. He's been on the internet for this long, and like I'm not really a fan of the content he makes by any means. I find him kind of annoying, but like respect for like sticking to your model. Like he's good at what he does.
People say mean shit, bro. People say mean shit, and you have to talk. You have to have thick skin. Somebody was like, you see when I talk, you see how one side of my lip goes up more than the other? Somebody like, yo, I think Beatty had a stroke because his right side of his lip goes up. And I'm like, damn, bro.
I can't unsee that now. Staring at your mouth.
me even pointing that out. Now everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's true. Did he have a stroke? No, I didn't have a fucking stroke. I don't know. It's how I talk. Maybe when I was born on one side. Who the fuck knows? But
you got dropped on one side.
It's the shark cartilage. I need shark cartilage to fix that.
Oh my god!
No, but just in general, like everybody has some kind of quirk about them, right? And then some people did. I think hurt people, right? So I think people are they're mad at whatever reason. They're mad at the world, and they'll say some mean shit to people, right? Like really lowbrow shit. And you just got to be like, it doesn't really mean anything, because if you let it get to you, you're not gonna last. I mean, in the world, because it is.
Yeah, you really have to be able to laugh at this stuff, and if you take it for the comedy and absurdity that it is, it's like it actually is really funny. Like, like the shit that people comment on the internet. Like if they say something that's like on point, it's like a legit criticism. That actually hurts. Oh shit!
That's when it hurts. When it's a good point. If it's just like banter, like saying shit, you're not gonna take it seriously because it doesn't hit a chord. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shall we do another one? Let's do one more.
I'm up for it.
I gotta tell you my favorite fucking movie, bro.
Oh yeah, I didn't even finish that.
It's a good one.
What's yours, eh?
It's not a porn movie, I promise.
Oh,
I like
come on.
I like Terminal by Tom Hanks. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's amazing, dude. Terminal?
I'll write that down.
For Tom Hanks.
Is it on?
That's when you get stuck in the terminal, right? For like a couple years.
Oh, damn!
It's an old one. It's an old one.
Oh,
yeah, but doesn't he get stuck in the terminal? He's like living inside the airport terminal.
Yeah.
Bro, Tom Hanks is always getting stuck all kinds of fucking places. He was stuck on like Castaway. The fuck? He
Paul,
was 22. He was stuck somewhere there.
Stuck behind enemy lines and Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's always stuck. Figure it out, Tom.
Let's end with this one. This might not go over well, but we're gonna do it anyways.
Do it.
What's your favorite flavor in women? It says vanilla, mocha, caramel, honey, milk chocolate, and dark chocolate.
Dulce de leche.
Let's start with Zaid.
Oh shit. Okay, neither. It's a red velvet.
Red velvet?
I don't even know what Zayd's girl looks like, so
that's for you,
I don't know what that means.
She got red hair, so that's
is his hair color?
Zayd's horny, bro.
No.
He's
Like
the best.
complexion.
There's no point in Dubai, brother.
He's losing it.
Hey,
Is
Zay,
Jackie-
you're still
I
over
am.
there? You're still over there?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
3 a.m. by the way.
Zay, is Jackie Latina or white?
Half and half.
Oh, okay. So
That actually might be a
Half
good
Polish,
balance.
balance
half
it out.
Polish,
Okay.
half Peruvian.
So that would be vanilla mocha, right? What would that be? Vanilla
It
mocha?
would be red velvet, I think.
Well, red velvet frosting.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Maybe
Like,
for-
a
white-
coffee,
so white-
like a coffee cake with red velvet frosting.
Coffee.
Pretty much.
to be honest,
Brown.
I feel like almost any mix seems to work, right? Like if you look at any kind of mixed girls, it could be whether it's Asian black or Latin white, Asian and white, Asian and whatever it is. It seems it could be Middle Eastern and German. It seems to work. Mixing seems to create good combinations for whatever reason. Just some I've kind of noticed, but let's go Paul.
What are the options again?
You could pick more than one too, technically, because I don't, because it was vanilla, mocha, caramel, honey, milk chocolate, dark chocolate.
I'd say probably mocha. A little bit of a tan. Why not?
Mocha seems fair. Let's go Stu.
What is honey?
Dark
Asian.
brown.
Honey would be.
Asian.
It's like gold.
I think
maybe that's like Mediterranean. Huh?
I think honey could be like biracial, like who's like Rihanna. Would Rihanna be honey? Because she's not milk chocolate.
No.
Rihanna wouldn't be honey. What would you call Rihanna? She's pretty
Mocha.
light. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, Rihanna's kind of lighter than that. She'll be like caramel or mocha. So honey is like a little darker than Rihanna. I can't think of somebody right now, but maybe like a Puerto Rican girl. Let's say a Dominican Puerto Rican girl, something like that.
Well, I don't even know why I asked, but like vanilla. Like I only like white girls.
Do you have a range? You don't have a range.
I mean, you can
Only
be a little
white.
tan, but like
That's about it.
ethnically, yeah, white.
White girl.
White.
Let's go, Paul.
Again?
Oh, my fault. I'm sorry. You like again?
Your answer wasn't good enough.
All right. Let's go, Joe.
Fuck, I mean, I don't really know because there's like for example, I really like kind of like Paul said, mocha, but
Did
I
a
also
range.
kind of like fucking like pale white, but I don't like white girls. Like Jalissa is Brazilian Mexican and she has like a paleness to her skin.
She her complexion is white, but she doesn't look like a white girl.
Yeah, so I don't like because like a white girl has certain facial features, and Hispanic girls have a different kind of facial structure.
Yeah,
So I don't like a white girl's facial structure. But
Don't
I like
say that, Joe. You can't say that.
This is my flavor.
Just say you prefer a different one, because you don't dislike it. You just prefer something else. We don't want to exclude. You don't want to exclude the white girls. No.
Okay. I prefer.
But do you have a range, or you would say mocha? Oh, you would say vanilla with a little spice to it.
Yes, pretty much. Like add some cinnamon.
Yeah, okay, there you go. A cinnamon swirl. I
don't dislike white girls, but I tend to always prefer a Latina girl. Like
Yeah,
for
I
example,
understand.
my childhood crush was Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, that's a good
But
one.
like
That's a good one.
she's not like white though. You know what I'm saying?
What is she?
Well, she
She
probably
is
I think
No,
Yeah,
like
so what is
that,
she?
that skin color though.
complexion. He's saying complexion. She is
Oh.
white, but he's saying complexion.
No, she's
that's
white,
called
white.
tanning beds.
Well, I like okay, I like a slightly burnt white person.
Milano tan.
Yeah, it's about to be me, bro.
I got to be honest. I've pretty much tried the whole spectrum, and I like it all, baby. I gotta be honest with you. I like
You
it all.
tried Middle Eastern?
Oh, good point. No, I don't think I haven't been anywhere that was highly populated in Middle Eastern women. But have I
Don't,
even?
because you get shot.
No, yeah, you're right. I don't know if I have I talked to a Middle Eastern girl. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. No, I don't think I have. So,
She won't put out, bro. She won't. She won't put out for like 3 years straight.
oh, actually, how do I say this?
Oh, Joe is laying down again.
It's my charger. So that we've been on for a long time.
Well, there's a girl that I know who's Middle Eastern. I don't know what exactly she is, but I know she's Arab. And let me just stop there. I'm not even gonna say what I'm about to say. but let's say never mind. But let's say yeah, I I I like it all, man. I can't say I have a preference. I think different points in my life, I've leaned more in one direction than the other, but I can't limit myself to picking one because
Does your girl have to be
it's not
fit?
true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
At this point in my life, I would say for sure.
I agree. Now. I agree.
I've also known girls who don't work out, who look like they work out, just really good genetics. But 10 years goes by, you can't rely on those genetics because I've seen it for myself. There's one girl I used to date, and now she's married. She just got pregnant recently, so congrats to this unnamed girl. But she was a girl that had perfect shape, looked like she works out every day, but never worked out, never dieted, eats whatever she wants, and now she's not looking as good. Let's just say that. Like
Yeah, she's
6 years
pregnant,
later.
bro. Jesus.
No, but before she got pregnant, as the years passed by, it's not looking the same. Where I would rather you have already got the fat phase like over with when you were younger, and now you're on your health phase, right? Your health phase. So
You're on your cruise?
yeah, because chances is you'll never want to go back to being fat because you were already there in the past. If you've always been the cute slim girl, you're not scared of getting
granted. Yeah,
exactly. You
That
take it for
always
granted,
happens, yeah.
and then you let yourself go. I would rather you have been the fat, ugly girl when you were in school, and then now you're the fit, cute girl. You know,
Oh,
and then plus
yeah.
you have a better personality. Think about it.
Dude, I talked about this. I find muscular women attractive because it demonstrates work ethic and
Boom.
the
Simple as that.
ability to work at something consistently. And
Exactly.
good.
My first ex was always the prettiest girl in school. Always had the most money. Had always well off. Pretty. I won't say rich, but well off. And always had the nice car. Always had that. And she was not a good person or not a nice person. Because why would you need to be nice if you're always the cutest girl that everybody wants and you have all this money? You never had a time in your life where you had to build any, interpersonal skills. So it was horrible, fucking
You
horrible.
need some grit, dude. You need some patina, some rust. You
Exactly.
can shine it off, but
So whereas my last ex, she was always the chubby girl that was friendly and everybody liked, but she wasn't cute. And then she got into fitness, got in shape, and kind of glue up. So she has the perfect personality and is the nicest person in the world. But now she's, better looking, which is great. You know what I'm saying? So you would, and she'll never get fat again because she's like, fuck that. I know what that was like. I'm never going back there. So best of both worlds, But as far as flavor, I mean, even though y'all have preferences, let's be real. If you find a girl you like, that's not a big deal for us. We would rather focus. Huh?
It's not a deal breaker.
Yeah, like we have other deal breakers that are more important. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Whereas preference is great because that's attraction, but there's a lot worse deal breakers that we have than how you look. As long as you're attractive to us in some kind of way. But I would rather take a 7 any day that meets everything else than take the fucking 9 that's on fucking that have 1 million followers and always showing her ass and always, I see guys at the gym dating those girls, and I'm like, the girl's walking, she's always talking to this guy. Like, that's your girl. She has to have some respect for you. Like, she's walking around like she's just free meat, her asshole
It
out.
ain't yours. It's just your turn.
Exactly. And I see that, and I'm like, I just can't do that. Am I insecure? Whatever you want to call it. That's not.
Oh man,
that's
it's disrespectful. I mean,
that's how I see
she's like, she's looking at you like a handbag. She's going to swap out next season.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Yeah. So
That's
I'm not into that. Honestly, like if I'm talking to you and I see your Instagram and you have like 200 followers with like 9 pics, I fucking love it. I'm like, oh my god, this is a godsend. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to see. And imagine being that cute and being that low profile. It's very hard to come by. Very hard to come by, because those things don't go hand in hand these days.
Yeah.
But gentlemen, Joe is about to knock out Ken's
No,
forehead
I'm on the
this
charger.
summer.
Look.
Okay.
Charger. Hey, can you guys hang on for a sec after?
For sure, yeah.
Talk to you guys for something.
Of course. Stu's battery camera is about to die. We're going hypo. But all right, gentlemen. Well, not
I just
gentlemen,
say
but
before you go though, but just to finish the question, some girl did tell me when I said the same thing to her about the ass and shit. She said, "You're a fucking bodybuilder. You're always in that thong. You're always showing your
It's
body.
not the
Why
same
do you say
fucking
this
shit."
about us?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I said to her, "Bitch, I'm a fucking bodybuilder. It's a sport I participate in. Do you do the same?"
yeah.
And the context
And
is
then
very
she shut
different.
the fuck
like,
up.
The
Okay,
sexualization of the pictures.
So
You know?
you bringing that up is actually a good point. Now, if my
Because we're
girl is
always naked in the fucking pictures too.
yeah, if my girl is a competitor and she's posting progress pics, that's different. I have no issue with that. If she's a competitor and she's posting like in a bikini doing bikini poses, I personally don't have an issue with that. That's your competition. That's your sport. That's not you trying to get guys to DM you. That's
Yeah,
you
but
just
if you're like staring at the camera like "fuck me, baby," that's
yeah,
honey.
yeah,
You know what you're doing. I don't do that.
And
I
then
can't do. I literally cannot do that. Like,
Yeah, I
And
can't.
then another thing too, you talk about progress pictures, right? Like some of these girls, even though they are competitors, like they think posting an ass pitch every fucking day is a progress picture. It's not.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
what
Go
you mean,
every 2 weeks or whatever. That's a progress picture. Show us some growth. You know what I mean? Or
yeah.
if you're cutting, show us some fat loss.
Yeah, unless you're getting fat as fuck week to week like me, I don't want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Good point.
amen.
You also don't have to lift up your titties to show your abs. Your titties are not in the way. You also
For
don't have
real,
to.
Boys, honey.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Joe might have to.
Joe might have to. Yeah. You also don't have
my
to
tits
pull.
do get in the way. They do.
You know how girls sometimes pull their pants down and show like their V cut or whatever, and they're pulling it and showing their entire shit, and it's like, whoa, you're getting close there.
You're about a
You don't have
centimeter
to-
away from those lips. Like, fuck.
They're kissing the camera.
Yeah. You don't have to do that to show your abs neither. You could just show your abs. You know what I'm saying?
Window shopping,
Jen.
brother. Window shopping.
All right, gentlemen. So hang on, gentlemen. But everybody else, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. But we out of here.
Good night.
Peace.
Better.
Peace.